We just can't get, we cannot stop talking about Mrs. Garoppolo's baby boy. I try to find other things to talk about. But this, like the last 4 off seasons in a row, it's always Jimmy. First side, there was all kind of, what are we going to do in the offseason? He runs the gamut that 2017 season. All everybody's talking about is his contract. 2018, he gets hurt. Now, we're hey, you know what were we talking about in 2018? Oh, we were coming back, getting ready to go. All right, we just no big deal yet. 2018, he goes down again. No, 2019. That's right. 2019, Super Bowl, I forgot. Now, 2020, when did Tom Brady get involved? Anyway, every offseason, there's something. And this is no different. Actually, this might be the climax again, though. I figure. I mean, I'm just guessing. But Jimmy G's surgery stalls a trade that was pretty much plan A, right? So his value around the NFL was like every quarterback on the trade market, which was directly affected by the movement of new Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. And everybody knew that. He was going to be the top domino, and everything else was going to fall after him. And that's been the case. In dramatic fashion, even. Other teams attempted to deal for Watson scramble immediately to fill their needs after Watson agreed to sign with the Browns. You heard about OBJ, right? OBJ said, I'd be into, reuniting with the Browns. Now y'all got Deshaun. Tell him no, Browns. Tell him to go back over there to L.A. where he's winning championships, okay? Rumors had it that the Indianapolis Colts were interested in JG but weren't comfortable with his recent shoulder procedure and wanted to get a quarterback in camp immediately to start working for the 2022 season, which is something they suffered the year before with Carson Wentz, who came in late, or they didn't come in late, but he got hurt and couldn't come back, and they couldn't prepare properly in the offseason, which is very important. Other voids were also immediately filled but Garoppolo at this hour remains within the Niners organization until further notice. Tonight, taking your phone calls for your take on the sudden dilemma, and you can't describe it any other way, that Jimmy G may pose in the future plans for the Niners and what you would propose going forward. Since, you got Trey, you gave up all kind of assets, you no matter what, you got to do this. So, unless we're going to have a Jordan Love kind of situation, but that poor Jordan Love. Anyway, we'll continue. Live from the Niner Empire, it's Tuesday night. That does not have a nice ring to it. Niners football time. Guerrero, hola, mi amigo. He said, Ronbo, here we go, man. Hopefully we'll keep Garoppolo. Actually, I've read that on a couple of occasions. Well, let's go over it and see why that might be the case. Oh, meanwhile, Mike Cleese, sources confirm Broncos have agreement with former 49ers slot cornerback K'Wan Williams. Mike tweets out a 2-year, $7 million deal. K'Wan, he impressed me more than anybody. I'm talking everybody in our secondary. K'Wan was that steady presence. It was not going to be abused. I was so excited about it every time. I think this is why when you never heard about Cooper Kupp and you never heard about Tyler Lockett as you did with other games they played, I think K'Wan may have been hurt. I think even Cooper Kupp was shocked at what he was able to do to K'Wan in that NFC CG. He knows he ain't never been able to run over K'Wan like that. But he did, and the 49ers might say, well, maybe his time has come, and we're going to let him go. So see if he can get paid somewhere else more money, but we're going to have to move on. That's another, who's going to cover in the slot now? Nobody's going to cover like K'Wan. I don't like Mosley there. I saw him there. I didn't really think that was all that special. So we'll look like other teams against their top slot receivers in the future. I hope not. Dante Johnson did a good job. I'm not playing. He did, actually. when K-Ball was hurt. I forgot which game it was, but I was shocked at the job Dante did. I don't. We're looking for another one for sure. Let's get to Jimmy. Now, the list of destinations for the Niners to trade Jimmy G continue to shrink. Monday, as the Falcons traded Matt Ryan to the Colts, and the Saints re-signed Jameis Winston. So the first question is now what? Those are Jimmy's destinations. The Colts traded for Matt Ryan. The Saints filled their vacancy by re-signing Jameis, and the Falcons quickly replaced Ryan by signing Marcus Mariota. Now, as you know, Chardal wanted Marcus Mariota to come over here and play behind, Trey, because Trey doesn't have a backup yet, and I don't consider who's the man who's backing him up now a backup. If Trey gets hurt and he has to come in, Sudfeld is not going to help us. Word on the street was that the Colts and Saints, both of whom reportedly had trade discussions with the 49ers, were viewed as logical landing spots for JG. We all pretty much thought that was going to be the case. Who are the remaining quarterback-needy teams now? Carolina's a potential suitor, but the Panthers are coming off 3 straight 5-win seasons, and their big offseason move at quarterback could be made in the draft. When you're losing that consistently every year, and I've already made attempts to get a veteran, Carolina has the number 6 pick, had a huge group of coaches and executives at Pittsburgh's Pro Day Monday to see Kenny Pickett, one of the draft's top quarterback prospects, of which has been deemed unfriendly as far as a first-round pick in the draft. If you're going to go for a quarterback this year in the first round, you could be in a heap of trouble. Then again, it could be wrong. Maybe Pickett comes in and just grazes hell. The Panthers also presumably would have to find a trade partner for their current starter, Sam Darnold, who will earn $18.58 million in 2022, a year after he was acquired for 3 draft picks. The Seahawks, they have a need for a starting quarterback after trading Russell Wilson to Denver, right? They're expected to upgrade from Drew Lock, whom they acquired from the Broncos, but their presence in the NFC West with the Niners could be a complicating factor in a trade, so no. Jimmy's probably not going to Seattle. Seattle, along with Carolina, could view Baker Mayfield as a more appealing option than Garoppolo, although the Hawks seem to think that's funny because Drew Lock is being taken seriously, according to some reports. Go, Pete. Pete Carroll, and you know what? Here's the thing. I am still, I don't want to, I'll admit it to you because we're family, but fam, listen. I don't know, even in the last 3 years, how Pete Carroll has gotten that team in a position where they could actually beat people. They've been competitive all 3 years. I understand Russell Wilson is the main reason why, but still, the defense, if your team really is bad, it's not, your quarterback's not going to save games like that. They won a lot of games, and it wasn't all Russie all the time. Well, maybe 75% of the time. But you still need that at 25% covered, and their defense was kind of strange. They were opportunistic, but I guess, wow. But anyway, if they come out and beat us this year, I'm going to lose my mind because, in the back of our minds, we're all going to look at that uniform, if nothing else. As soon as the Hawks walk out there, we say, boy, here they come. Boy, Russell's gone. Somebody tell the 49ers that Russell is gone. You don't have to lose to these people. Go ahead and beat them now. Cleveland is shopping Mayfield after trading for Deshaun on Friday. Monday's moves not only shrank the 49ers' trade options, but one transaction suggested whatever return they might get for Garoppolo will be modest. Falcons trading Ryan to the Colts only yielded a 2022 third-round pick, number 82 overall in return. Ryan is 36. Is significantly older than JG at 30, but the 2016 MVP has missed just 3 starts in his 14-season career, which, by the way, should have yielded more pick. If for that reason alone, Matty Ice should have gained more than well, that's terrible. But Tony, I know you're probably feeling that. Tony now has, anyway, that makes Matty Ice way more accomplished and durable, right? That makes the move very sensible. The Colts didn't get a bargain because they had to assume a somewhat comfortable contract. So Ryan has 2 years remaining on his deal at relatively affordable prices. When you look at the quarterback payment standards. At least, he is scheduled to earn $23.75 million in 2022 and $28 million in 2023. Meanwhile, Garoppolo has just 1 year remaining on his contract. He's scheduled to earn $26.4 million and wouldn't be able to practice until training camp at the earliest after his March 8th surgery just took place here recently. The compensation for Ryan raises the question of whether the 49ers could not net even a 2022 third rounder for Garoppolo. And some people said, man, take a 6th-round pick and just get him the hell up out of here, So, I don't know. 49ers are not going to get compensated like they wanted to do or like the plan was. Meanwhile, John Lynch is out telling people he has been offered 2 second-round picks for Jimmy. And Mike Folio went out and said that's the 49ers. I don't want to talk about him. Mike, what the hell? Of course John's going to try to sell that. What else is he going to do? Sit back and say, I can't find anybody to give me anything? Florio was weird, man. Shut up. By the way, the Panthers don't have a 2022 second or third round pick to offer beyond their first round pick. Carolina has a 4th rounder and 2 first-round, 5th-round selections. Given the current environment, the Niners could be forced to carry JG on the roster for at least a few more months and hope a potential deal emerges. And that is possible because what ends up happening, the Panthers would be motivated to make a trade if they don't use the number 6 pick on a QB. If they think Pickett's like, guys, this is just treadmilling backwards. Let's not do this. All right, let's just get Garoppolo. We can get Garoppolo maybe next year or 2 years from now. We'll see another quarterback, or maybe we like Garoppolo. But Garoppolo's he's already pro. But the thing is, you're going to get a quarterback in the camp, pay him $26 million. He doesn't know anything about your program. See, there's where Garoppolo also hits a snag. Even if you were going to go ahead and bring him in and think the doctors did a good job and there'll be no follow-up surgery and he'll be fine, he'll be able to throw, his hand is fine, everything's fine. He doesn't know anything about the program. You're going into the season with him trying to learn. Now you're asking for trouble, begging for it, and you're going to get it. So another possibility, the team could develop a need if its current quarterback is injured in OTA practices or training camp. And I say that, what I just said about Garoppolo coming in, don't try to compare coaches with Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan came in, they put a bunch of rehearsed plays out there, and Garoppolo was pretty much on his own ad-libbing out there at the end of that 2017 season. He did that very well. But that doesn't mean it's going to continue to be the case everywhere you go. As I say, everybody's not Kyle Shanahan. And teams could feel more confident about trading for JJ when he's further along in his rehab. The Niners don't seem to have a pressing need to trade or release JJ to receive the significant salary cap space such moves would create. They might not feel such an urgency until around late July, which is just before the start of training camp, which is a practical deadline to sign Debo and Nick to most likely big money extensions. Where people are not understanding that, those extensions for Debo and Nick wouldn't kick in until next year. So Debo and Nick will be still working on the same contracts they're working on now, unless the 49ers just gave them some kind of huge bonus, which is probably going to happen anyway. But anyway, your cap is easily worked around that. My question is, what's next? All right, what now? What do you think? Did the FO overplay or underplay their hand on this particular matter? I was trying to wonder. John came out, when they announced what they were going to do with Jimmy at the beginning of the season, now I thought that was a little silly. Because now teams are waiting back. Niners, we know what your plan is. John, why should I give you anything? I'm going to just let you sit there and stew in your own juices. You don't want Garoppolo? Then I'll wait till you're forced to have to get rid of him. Just cut him and I'll pick him up then. Hey, John, don't get upset, man. This is all business, man. John? Okay, he's pissed off. Jesus. That's what I would do. I'd say, John, I don't know. Jimmy's going over to Denver? What, to back up Russell Wilson? I don't think so. Anyway, I still see, I can't imagine what's going to happen to Jimmy from here. I see a cut, actually. That's the only thing I'd imagine right now. I can see the 49ers having to cut him. They have to. Unless I still know how they're going to keep him. And you can't keep him. Trey's got to start. Jimmy's not going to play backup to Trey. He's going to want to compete with Trey at least. And then I don't want to piss anybody off, but I suspect he'll beat Trey out again. Nothing's changed dramatically from last year. Trey's gotten some time in and some other things, but I don't know that he knows enough yet. It takes a while to get sharpened, Shanahan's offense fully sharpened, and I think Trey needs that time. So it's best to go ahead and let Jimmy go, because otherwise we're going to be sitting around waiting for Trey for too long. Kittle will be getting up there. The guys will be leaving the team. It'll get uglier and uglier. So, Anyway, I don't know what's on your mind, fam. That's kind of scary. Let me put on my new ears. You notice I got rid of the red cans. The red cans were starting to bleed all over me. I was walking around and people thought, "Why are you bleeding?" It was my cans. The paint was coming off. They really sounded good, though. I like those. And I should have untangled this an hour ago. You know how buds do. Last time I hang these things, like, come on, yeah, get out of me. Okay. And we go now to introduce that man amongst men, the man that Tennessee says owns the keys to the city. It's Papa Bam Boom Dragon Bob.
Good evening. Good evening, Ronbo and production and Niner Nation. Good evening. What's up, man?
Papa, we're looking at this situation that just broke out here with people scrambling to sign people each and everybody. And you know what? The draft mustn't be weak, because ain't nobody hesitating to go get anybody who's out there except for Jimmy, laying up there with $26 million. Y'all, you got to pay me those $26 million. Man, when you going to be back? I'll be back from training camp. Okay, never mind. Go ahead, Papa. What are they gonna do now?
Well, I don't know what they're gonna do, but I had my thoughts on Jimmy, and they haven't changed. I said that he's probably worth a 4th-round conditional pick. But I also said, it's going to be a difficult sell to trade for an injury-prone quarterback who's injured.
And yeah, there you go. The bottom line right there. Injury-prone quarterback that is currently injured. That's a scary thought.
Yeah, that's scary in itself. And then once I started learning more and more about the dynamic, there's a lot of stuff that we didn't know until it happened. He got the shoulder surgery late. We didn't know that was going to happen. Deshaun finished up with his massage early. And was able to get back in the game. I didn't know that there's going to be. There's out of all the free agents that have been signed, there's only been a couple of them that I'm like, okay, that's a pretty decent deal. But everybody else was overpaid dramatically. I think Deshaun Watson,
fam. You know that's going to happen. People are going to get up to 10% more than they should in a normal situation.
Oh, in some cases, it's more than 10%. Well, sometimes this is ridiculous. Yeah. I knew that I also said that I would probably want to get a cornerback and try to wait to the second phase. But you also know where I was wrong is I really wanted an offensive line starter. So first thing I want to do is I want to dispel the fact that people say the 49ers are afraid to spend money. We've wasted money on McKinnon. We've wasted money on Quan Alexander. We threw a bag at
I agree.
Richmond.
I never entertain those conversations. I just stay away from that because I said, I don't know how y'all gonna call them tight and stingy. Go ahead. I'm loving
exactly.
This.
The cornerback situation I'm okay with, but moving forward with Jimmy, I also didn't know that if they were to cut him today, they have to pay him $7.5 billion.
Injury settlement.
And if you just keep him on the team right now, they don't pay him anything. You see what I'm saying? So really, the true deadline right now is going to be week 1 of the regular season. Now people are saying, well, if we don't get rid of him, we can't sign anybody. We can sign whoever we want. The salary cap. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They just did, and there's more contracts that you can restructure. So those things I'm not concerned with. But I want to dispel a couple of things, though. I think a lot of people get their pennies in a bunch because of what they want to happen. And sometimes what you want to happen isn't what needs to happen. You see what I'm saying? So I don't blame them for trying to get something for Jimmy. This is not an indictment on Trey at all. Mm-hmm. I totally think that moving forward, if it was me, what I would do is I wait till Jimmy's healthy. Maybe somebody gets hurt in OTAs or training camp. Or maybe somebody doesn't look as good as they thought they were going to look, like Davis down in Texas. There's Mac Jones. Mac Jones might come in and his hips and titties are bigger than last year.
Oh, Belichick
there's a lot of different scenarios.
Fast. Yeah, that's true.
Right. And I hope you remember, too, I also said that at the end of the day, I thought that Jimmy would end up back with the Patriots. So right. Whether he gets traded, whether he gets cut, I think if I'm Jimmy Garoppolo, I want to go back to the Patriots because I played my best ball for Belichick. And it kind of goes back to what our old receiver said, and God bless his heart, but he said that he works hard. He works harder. They work harder in camp and practice for the Patriots than he did at the 49ers.
KB.
Yeah. That's KB. KB said that.
I know.
So I think ultimately, whatever the case is, I don't think he won't be with the team. They've already had the goodbye press conference. He's already said goodbye. We've already said we're going to trade him. So whether they trade him for a 6th-round pick, a bag of Cheetos, a massage at one of Deshaun Watson's
it's got to be
cars,
a Subway sandwich.
Yeah. I think he's going to be gone come the first week of the season at the very latest. But that's what I would do because I wouldn't carry that number because, remember, we still got our own players to re-sign. And then you don't know who else we might try to trade for because you don't have to get a pick for Jimmy. You can trade Jimmy for a player. I mean, Peter King was like, trade the Panthers for Sam Darnold straight up. Okay, well, that's a trade. And maybe you can add something to Sam Darnold's game, and maybe you can trade him later down the road. So there's a lot of different variables and scenarios. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios, but at the end of the day, I truly believe that Jimmy G, it wasn't a quarterback competition last year. There's not going to be one this year. Trey is going to get all of the OTA snaps, okay? And, Garoppolo doesn't throw until July. And July is right on the edge of preseason.
Yep.
Right, it's right on the edge. So if Trey's getting all that stuff, only way I can see there being a quarterback competition for Jimmy getting his job back is if Trey doesn't look ready and those OTAs, if he's not commanding the offense, if he's not commanding the players,
and
if he's not leading the men.
And Sudfeld's out there outplaying him.
Yeah, because they've already gave Sudfeld the bag because they want him to be the backup, right? Yeah. So it doesn't make sense to say, okay, well now there's a quarterback competition. If they say that baloney, again, that's just Lynch's absolutely terrible poker face. It's just Lynch's poker face.
And nobody's going to fall for that.
No, Lynch is so bad at poker. Oh, I wish I could play him. So
no, you don't.
Yeah,
I tell you, the guy be smiling. You never know what he's doing, and he'd be saying things to you. That's a nice shirt you got there. I'm going to go ahead and raise you here. Okay. See, that's.
I got two second round just on the table right now. And everyone called his bluff.
And Mike Foyle ran with that story. So
or he's supposed to go. I mean, most of these stories are on clickbait, and Grant Cohn's out there trolling. And he does it because that's what Grant does. You know what I mean? It's like it's nothing shocking there. But you can't sit there. Listen, in one sentence, he sits there and says how crappy of a quarterback Garoppolo is. Then in the next sentence, he's saying, well, how come they haven't traded him? How come they haven't traded him? Well, you've been saying how badly he sucked for 8 weeks. Now they're supposed to trade somebody who sucks?
And it's your fault, Grant. Okay, how about that? We got to pull up, though, fam. You know what? I think I'm going to come back tomorrow because this is going to be a thrilling week, I can see right now. And suppose I missed too much time already.
I know. Yeah. Fans, everybody hold tight. Believe it or not, we may not win the bowl this year, but if we can get going straight with Trey, there will be some bowls in our future. You got to be patient. All right, I'm out.
Always. All right, Bob. We'll see you tomorrow.
Like and subscribe with the Ronbo Sports.
It's Bob. There he goes. And it's TN, which stands for the Tony Nagatani. Take TNT, not that TNT. This TNT, Tony. Hey.
Aloha, Ronbo. How are you? Happy Tuesday.
Tony, long time no hear from you, buddy. I mean, of course, I've been communicating with you on Twitch and stuff, but doing great. Off season is always a stress-free time. The season is when you're like sitting on pins and needles, wake up in the middle of the night, not go to the bathroom, but just to stand around looking out the window saying things like, if we did this and we did that, I bet you that would make, it's neurotic is what it is. So now we can relax. Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, the regular season is always where the rubber meets the road because there's actually football taking place in constructed rosters. And the off season is all about dreams and feelings and all these sorts of things. And we see, as reflected in 49ers Twitter, these past few weeks surrounding Jimmy Garoppolo, just the extent and how passionately 49ers fans feel about all this. And I feel very, very passionately about all this too. And, I think like many of the 49ers fans out there, I am also disappointed in the sense that they weren't able to offload Jimmy G for the value that he is actually worth. But at the same time, I keep looking back at this and I think there is actually some value in having Jimmy G on the roster going into the season until we can actually extract the maximum value for him. I know everyone's very down on him, and everyone is it's not a very popular opinion that I have, but I think, as Papa just mentioned, Jimmy can't throw until July, which means that Trey is going to be taking all of the reps in every single OTA, every single practice and taking snaps with Brandon Ayuk and training and all that. So, and even if it means Jimmy Garoppolo goes into training camp with the 49ers and we have 2 starting level quarterbacks on the roster in a true quarterback competition, I see upside there. And the other thing I keep thinking of is the draft is also coming up soon. And right now I'm seeing a lot of people, earmarking Malik Willis to the Seattle Seahawks. Well, what if someone jumps up ahead of Seattle because they want a quarterback and they want Malik Willis? All of a sudden, Seattle is going to be, maybe trading for Baker Mayfield, but they could also be a landing spot for Jimmy G. I know we're not supposed to ever trade within the conference, but we've done it before. We've traded with both the Seahawks and the Rams in the past. And if the deal is good enough, the Seahawks can have Jimmy G. And you know what? Like the Niners, I think will be better off, with that extra cap space. And, I'm not as disappointed as I see so many people on Twitter, and I'm excited because I see Jimmy G is at this point going into the season as insurance. I don't know, Rob, but what do you think about all that?
No, I one thing I question though, Malik Willis, is he a first round pick?
I don't know. PFF seems to have him as their top quarterback. People were very down on this quarterback class. I don't watch enough college football to actually know. And,
me either.
Malik
That's
Willis
why I
is
asked
doing
you.
this. Yeah. Malik Willis is doing all the same things that Justin Fields and Trey Lance did in the offseason, throwing those miraculous cross-body passes that they like to show. So
Zach Wilson.
It's all, yeah, exactly. Doing all that sort of stuff. We really don't know how good these guys are going to be, but there are quarterback needy teams out there who want to invest in a young guy. And if they get suddenly, usurped, if their position gets usurped and the guy that they wanted isn't there, it wouldn't surprise me to see Jimmy move even on draft day. There's plenty of opportunity going forward to move Jimmy Garoppolo. And, to be honest with you, they can do salary cap stuff because we talk about the fact about how soft the salary cap is. What's to stop the 49ers from adding a void year or doing some sort of structural renegotiation, technically extending the deal to get his cap number down if they have to sign more players if we need to. But,
That's what I was going to ask you about next, too. Now, if they do that, they've got to extend him. This is his contract year. So you can't just restructure without adding another year minimum, right? So,
Right.
yeah.
I actually think that makes him a more desirable trade partner for a team that might
Yeah,
need a
because,
quarterback or a bridge quarterback for 2 years. Because if you
yep.
bring the number down
Yeah.
and the Niners take care of some of that salary up front, I see him as actually being more tradable if we extend him. On top of the fact that it alleviates some cap pressure for us,
Mm-hmm.
and we can still redo Jimmy Ward's deal and everything that I'm hearing. Like next season, there's plenty of room to
To wiggle.
renegotiate. Fred Warner's deal and create more cap space. Plus, the salary cap is expected to explode. So, all these doomsday naysayers saying go sign people. Niners have signed some quality special teamers.
Yeah.
We need to get better on offensive line. I'm worried about safety like everybody else, but we have a ton of draft picks. Nothing about having Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster right now is an encumbrance to being good down the line. So I say
Mm.
keep him, extend him if we can to lower that cap number, sure, because it's always good to have more money. But I tell you, I don't see, I don't see any downside to holding on to Jimmy until we can extract maximum value for him. And worst case scenario, we carry him through the season, and then he leaves. He signs a free agent deal with someone else, and we recoup a fourth or a fifth round compensatory pick.
I thought it was fourth round. Okay, because I thought it was a third round pick. But you know what? This Malik, the Hawks need a first round pick. See, Tony, this is the thing. When teams get to these dead ends at the end of this road, they've been running down 150 miles an hour, and all of a sudden you need assets. You've already traded away for your Jamal Adams and your all your other players that you see getting picked up for every last first round pick you have for the rest of the decade. So I'm always laughing at that. Just, that's going to eventually bite you in the butt. Okay, you won a little bit now. Adams hasn't really made that much of a difference in Seattle. The 49ers, they seem to be calculating in a way which puts in judgment first. You don't just go off half-cocked doing things, thinking that we're not worried about the future, we got to win now. They're not that kind of organization. So, the things you're talking about are probably things that are entertaining as well.
Yeah, I'm excited is all I can say. I'm always excited for the 49ers, Ronbo, but I'm not down on them to the extent that I see so many people down on them. So it's just, everybody, pour yourself a glass of red wine,
Yes.
Indulge in a little bit of greenery. If that's your thing, just relax. It's all going to be okay. Niners are a good team.
I would suggest a Malbec, the Argentinian. Oh, that's good.
There you go, Ronbo.
No, that's good stuff. I knew you'd bring this stuff. Because we're going to go. What I look at it, I look at John Lynch. Kyle's not saying anything because Kyle doesn't have the same poker face as John, so he doesn't say anything. But John gets up there and he can just romance your vote so easily. He's grinning and saying things, and he's got Mike McDaniel sitting there acting as if he didn't know he was there, saying all these wonderful things. I said, look at John. The things he says, and he leaves those little if and only ifs, like an insurance policy when he's talking. He's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, when the report came out today about the 2-2s, the way that was phrased, that sounds to me like he actually had a deal for 2-2s with Washington, but Don Yee and Jimmy didn't want to go play for Dan Snyder. So
I remember that.
That is what I think what that deal is.
You're right. I remember that time.
We'll see. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I do remember that. Washington was on board for a minute, it seems.
Yep.
So,
and they traded a ton to get Carson Wentz. Like, that deal they traded for Carson Wentz would have been a very apt Jimmy deal. But Jimmy, from what the Niners want to do right by Jimmy, and Jimmy said, "I don't want to go play for the commies," and so that was that.
And the Bolsheviks could be coming at any time. Hey, Tony, good stuff. I'll be back tomorrow looking for you. All right.
All right, Ronbo. I'm busy,
Thanks,
but I'll
Tony.
do my best. Take care of yourself.
All right. You too. Night, fam. There goes Tony under the blue waters of Hawaii. It's Sean. Sean, get your Cardinals self in here, man. You busted me up last time.
I know. But then you got muted in Kunta, so. What are you doing, Ronbo? Not much. This guy named Nick Vigil, who nobody knows. I think are we gonna become the new Vikings? Like Jeff Gladney comes from the Vikings, and now Nick Vigil. What now? Patrick Peterson?
I thought you had Patrick Peterson.
No, Pat Pete went to the Vikings last year.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna bring him back. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna bring him back. What next? Kyler Murray for Kirk Cousins. Like, are we gonna?
You know, Sean, the thing is, you guys had such an awesome assembly of talents last year. At the beginning of the season, I was telling everybody watching this program, so you guys, listen, nobody's talking about the Cardinals. Everybody's talking about the Seahawks and the Rams. I said, guys, I tell you what, I'm not even scared of them. I'm worried about the Cardinals. Have you guys noticed who they're putting on that team? You guys had the who's who. I mean, you had actually outdid the Rams. When you got D-Hop on your team, and you got Kyler Murray, who freaks me out every time he gets the ball, I didn't see how you guys were going to lose.
Bill O'Brien was stupid for doing that.
And why is that?
What didn't he? What he took on David Johnson's contract? Because remember when that deal happened, nobody talks about it. But when that deal happened with the Texans to trade DeAndre Hopkins over here, they took on David Johnson's contract, and that was like, I think, what, $20 million a year?
Yeah,
maybe 15.
Yeah, because O'Brien got fired a few minutes later, right?
Yeah, because then he traded J.J. Watt to us. Yeah, no, because
just to be mean,
Hey, they don't. They got nobody. They got nobody else.
And then Watt goes down in a heap, and so does D-Hop. You know something? I got to tell you, though, Sean, it's scary these days to pick up veterans that have had a great career elsewhere else. The rubber's thin. You're going to roll with them for a minute, and they're going to pass. They're going to go down. So, I really...
Yeah. So what are you guys doing? Who you guys is Jimmy G going to be a Seattle Seahawks?
I would bet against that. But I know what? I'm thinking now the 49ers might keep him because you've been watching the 49ers, right? The 49ers seem to blasé and nonchalant and pretend like everything's okay. Well, that's why you can actually depend on our front office. They make it look like, well, I've got this all the time. And I don't know, within their own minds, they're probably going nuts and thinking, how am I going to fix this? What the hell am I supposed to do? And Kyle Shanahan doesn't even talk. It's all John.
Yeah.
And John's got to be convinced.
Kyle Shanahan mic'd up on the sideline is funny.
Is he? He's got a bad temper.
I know. He's arguing with the refs.
I like that.
Remember when Josh Norman and Cliff Kingsbury got into it this year?
Yeah.
And how we did a foul, how we did a like. I'm not like Cliff is a tough son of a gun, but like, how do you get run over by what was Eno Benjamin? Remember when Eno Benjamin ran over was it Drake Kirkpatrick?
The Kirkpatrick. What did he do? Who did he run over? Josh Norman?
Eno Benjamin. Remember that Eno Benjamin play where he ran mano
was that
mano?
Norman?
Yeah, that was Drake Kirkpatrick.
Yeah, I was Drake Kirkpatrick got mowed down.
Yeah. So
and he got cut a few minutes later too.
Yeah, the year before he was on the Cardinals, and we didn't want him, and then you guys took him, and then is he coming back to the 49ers?
Absolutely not. He's not allowed.
I hope he does.
No, he's not coming, Sean. I'm telling you right now, he's not coming. He got cut. And also they said, stay out of the parking lot. Don't be in the vicinity or we'll call the police. We got a restraining order against him for looking that bad wearing a 49er uniform. That's it for him.
Yeah. The next thing you guys know, you're going to be signing Cardell Jones.
Hey, I want the Cardell.
He don't be your quarterback. He don't be your quarterback.
Sean, we're out of time. Listen, we got to go, though. Listen, I'll be back tomorrow if you got some time. I'll be here. All right? Hey, Sean. I hope he didn't knock himself out. That's a hardcore cough, Sean. Get that looked at. Anyway, we're going to go. Hey, Jay. Yo, Jay. Yo, Jay. Jay's probably trying to. I bet you Jay's talking to us right now, but somehow he's having sound system. Later, next time we'll talk to him and he'll say, Ron, can you hear me? I'm going to say no when he asks. Hey, let's go down to the land down under. Tony. And by the way,
Ronbo.
and by the way, Tony and I, the other Tony from Hawaii was just telling us, we were talking about what you need to do to calm down, open up a nice bottle of red. Aussie wines are great, too. I bet you Tony knows which ones to get, too.
I like a good Shiraz.
That is good, isn't it? Because I like fruity, not too dry, but I need that essence of fruit. It tang hits. I know, Tony, we're going to do a wine review show, aren't we? Let's not. Tony, you see what's going on with Jimmy G, and nothing's going as planned. Tony, what would you suggest is going to happen next?
Did Atlanta Falcons get rid of their quarterback? What's his name? Matty Ice?
Matty Ice was probably all pissed off. Listen, you guys, don't even talk to me about reconciliation. You tried to get Deshaun Watson, which meant you could care less about me, and I want out of here now. Matty, come on. Man, it's all business. No, listen, talk to my lawyer. I'm done. And that's it. Matty's over it. He's playing for the Colts. And who they got? They got Mariota is now over in Atlanta. Tony, I can't wait to hear your feelings on that. Get in here later. We got 3 Tonys. All 3 of you guys are so much fun. But yeah.
Look, I don't know what all the panic is about, Ronbo. I mean, let me ask you just one question. All right? Where have we been getting beaten on this football team?
Thank you.
And you said it the other day.
I'll say it
We've been getting beat deep.
Fourth quarter.
Correct?
We're leading by 10.
Fourth quarter.
Minutes to go.
Getting beat deep. So we need to strengthen that part of the field. I've been saying it for how long? We need safety, corner, people in that area of the field that we can just cut those long balls off, and teams are going to go, all right, what are we going to effing do now? That part we need to fix, the O-line for Trey Lance, and we're done. Mm-hmm. We're back in competition. Like I said the other day, we can't pass judgment on these guys until the draft is over.
Tony, we got the one guy that saved us, and when OBJ was racing down the field against the Rams, Stafford's got him locked into his radar, right? He's got him on lock. He shoots that shot, and out of nowhere, Ambry Thomas, who had been showing improvement each and every week, saves the game. That was going to be another instance where everybody knows, let's go deep on the 49ers around fourth quarter. You got 3 minutes or 4 minutes left to go. They turned to water, and it didn't work for the first time. See, that was a game we were going to lose. Normally we would. Ambry Thomas.
And we are one of the best teams in the league for developing young talent. Would you agree with that?
I do. We got a lot of guys that really look good that came in out of the draft. 4th round, 5th round picks. I mean, yeah, you're right. As long as you don't go in the first round.
We don't even know these guys that haven't played a snap yet, what they look like, how far forward they've come in development, and we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Ambry Thomas.
Yeah.
So how much better is that guy going to be this season, this coming season?
I tell you.
He's going to go through OTA,
yeah.
The pre-game bloody pre-season games and all that stuff. He's going to be a lot better. Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of guys out there, that are going to come in fresh. And like I said, these guys are one of the best teams in the league at developing young talent. So I'm not worried at all at this stage. I'm not worried at all. And as far as Jimmy G goes, I mean, you remember what happened to Jimmy Ward when we were down in the doldrums and Eric Armstead? We used to say, Eric, as soon as he sees the field, he's going to be injured.
Yeah.
Same with Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward used to call, get rid of him, piss him off, get rid of him. What kind of a player did he turn out to be? I mean, all these things about Jimmy being injured. A fat bloke fell on his foot. Right? If you walk out the front gate and someone comes down one of those big hills in San Francisco and you get hit by a guy on a bicycle,
even a bicycle,
does that make you injured?
Yeah.
Does that make you injury prone? No. You just got smashed by someone on a bicycle. Same as Jimmy. The fat guy landed on his foot. The one other injury he had was his knee. Played through
like a champion. He played through, with a busted ass thumb and a shoulder. But it doesn't mean that he's going to be injury prone for the rest of his life.
Tony, he showed character this year. That's why when people go after him, I'm with the players. Back off. This guy, bad shoulder, busted up hand. We get to the NFCCG. He didn't have anything to do with that. You can't get that far with a quarterback not having anything to do with it. He made plays here and there. Right. He did what he had to do in Kyle Shanahan's system, which is be a part of the system and make it work. He's got leadership qualities. He's got some intangibles that people don't want to recognize, but I do. So that's why I say,
they'll hang on to him until they'll offload him. But
they have to.
Okay, what if someone goes down? What if someone's team quarterback has a horrific injury or something? Bang, who's next on the list?
And that happens every offseason, too. Every year, some team loses their starting quarterback due to some fluke injury.
I think they've got it all under control. And, like we said, under Bulky, all this crap used to get out. Rumors would fly out. Yeah. But under these two guys, nothing comes out. No one knows what they're doing. Yeah, they're good. So that's why I'm not panicking at all. Until after the draft, they sit down, state of the franchise, whatever. They sit down on a big table and they'll explain everything to us. They'll say, we got better at this position, we got better at that position, we traded this guy because of this, we got rid of this guy because of that, and we believe we're a better, stronger team.
I want Lynch and Shanahan to stay for another decade. You know why, Tony? They're football guys, and everybody was yelling for their neck. As soon as you start losing, people start firing people. Well, hell, you know what? You don't know what you're going to get back in return. It could be worse. That's why I say, people need to calm down about firing people every few minutes.
Exactly. Can you honestly say that John Lynch has got a crap football brain? I mean, he's a Hall of Fame player.
I agree.
He's got a great football brain. He knows he knows talent when he sees it. He's not an idiot.
Kyle was born into football. The guy is
there. You go.
That's what I'm saying. Stop firing my people, man. They're going through a rough spot. All head coaches and everybody else involved, they go through rough spots. You live through them.
I don't call it a rough spot. I call it an adjustment.
Oh, yeah, then there's that. True.
Right?
Yeah.
I call it an adjustment. And these guys, how do we know who the hell these talent scouts have been studying the crap out of all this time? We don't know who's on their board. We don't know whether they're going to trade up to the second round or the first round or sacrifice a whole lot of picks. We don't even know what their plans are.
But people love to say they do. And they come out and say it. And then they start arguing and fighting about it. Nobody said anything on a Saturday, but he's got the right news.
And what happens every year, Ronbo, with these guys? We come, the supporters, right, the fans, we come out looking like idiots. We go, shit, wow, look what they've done. Look at this guy. Look at that guy. Wow.
Hey, Tony.
Ambry Thomas is a perfect example.
Absolutely.
Did you expect him to do what he did? No.
No, I didn't see that coming at all. I was delighted, but I didn't see that coming. Woo! So
you didn't, but they saw it in him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why they got the bloke.
Tell you, I can't wait till next season. Tony, we're gonna roll out of time here. I'll be back tomorrow though, because we're gonna be crazy all for the next few weeks. All right.
All right, brother. Shout out to everyone, and see you in the next chapter.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate you. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Let's go back and see if Jay's still got. Jay's probably been trying to talk to us. Jay, are you there?
Hey. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. You can hear me, right?
No, I can't. Jay, you're using Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Because your sound is really strange. It's cutting in and out.
It is.
Yeah. If you could just sort of maybe just go ahead and talk right into that mouthpiece, probably be better on your phone.
Okay. My mouthpiece.
Yeah, I mean, pull out the connection with the tooth and just talk into the phone.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't. You can't hear me right now, though, right? Or you
No,
can?
I can hear you now, but it's just like it's rolling. So and that's because of the speed. It's a log. I got to explain to me how that works. There's a what is it called? It's just anyway. It's tech that's not going to work like this. But go ahead. Let's see. Go ahead and say because I can hear you. But go ahead.
Okay. You can hear me now, right?
No, yeah, now it's fine.
Okay. The topic is like, what's the topic? Like, cut Jimmy or something, or what?
No. We don't have any place to send Jimmy. All right, because the thing is, Atlanta has moved, and Deshaun Watson's in Cleveland, which caused everything to happen all over Jimmy's places of potential destinations, right? So now there's no Jameis is going to sign with the Saints, and Matty Ice has gone to the Colts. That was 2 places. The Panthers. Nobody knows what the Panthers are doing. The Panthers don't really know what they're doing either. So, it's just not clear as to where you could possibly send Jimmy. Washington, as you know, has already signed their quarterback. So every spot we talked about at the end of the season when everybody says, get Garoppolo out of here now, it's already all the spots been filled. And then and then you got Jimmy getting a procedure done on his shoulder. And a lot of camps aren't crazy about bringing in a quarterback that knows nothing about the system in July. For $26 million.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So it's a problem. So the 49ers are probably going to try to figure out something, or something's going to fall into the lap, or the option of cutting Jimmy's there too. But I don't know if that's going to be beneficial. They want to do that. A lot of analysts are saying that probably just go ahead best to hold on to him. But I don't know how long they mean. And Jimmy's not going to sit back and he's going to constantly ask Kyle, am I going to get to compete for this, or is it just already understood? And what's Kyle going to say? You know how they are. There's no way they're going to just tell Trey, you got this. I just don't see that. That's not Kyle's style. He's got to beat Jimmy out.
Yeah, but the problem with that, there was no, quarterback competition last year. And, I don't know why wasn't there a competition last year. Like, it's just dumb.
As Kyle explained, you got a guy that played 1 year in college football, no pro experience. He just didn't want to go out there and have a nightmare happen and get him ruined. Because Trey would have went out there and really exploded or imploded after being beaten down to the ground week after week. You don't want that. Get used to the NFL speed. Oh, yeah, you can only learn so much in practice, though. Because if I'm Fred Warner, the guys on the team, if I go all out to stop him and he gets hurt, my ass is dead meat. Right? So, you can only get so much, but real hostility coming at you from coaches that you don't know anything about, because you're seeing the 49ers every day, right? You know what they're going to do basically after about 4 or 5 weeks. So, you don't do it. And you can throw different defensive schemes at him, but he's still not getting the training he's going to get in the real deal. So Kyle didn't want to expose him to that before it was necessary. Mentally, Trey's probably ready for it now. The NFL speed's not going to freak him out, and he should be ready to go. And by the way, when I say there's going to be a competition between him and Jimmy if they do have him, it's not going to mean Jimmy's automatically winning. I didn't say that. But Jimmy's going to ask to compete, and then you're going to see what happens. Now, from that, I figure, I'm just saying because of experience, G probably might have the advantage, but maybe not.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I don't know. Personally, I would cut Jimmy because, look, man, like, it doesn't make sense to have him as a backup or anything like that because, look, he's sitting in the bench and making, $20-something million? That doesn't make sense. If he's going to come back, he's going to be as a starter. And I don't want that to happen, I don't want Trey to sit for another year. It's just retarded. He's not going to learn nothing from sitting another year. That would mean, like, he has pretty much not even played, like, for 3 years straight, basically, or 2. I don't even know. But, I don't want that to happen. He needs to get his feet wet and, yeah, and people were saying that, let's bring Jimmy as a backup. No, that doesn't make sense because, like, Jimmy, he's pretty much like the leader of the fucking team. Let's be honest here. And
locker room does love him, and they would be protesting the whole time. That's true.
Literally. So, and if they do have a quarterback competition, they're clearly gonna vote for Jimmy. Literally, like, it's gonna be like they know Jimmy and stuff. So, and It doesn't
Well,
make sense. To bring
Trey
him
could
in.
win them over though. If Trey's out there dazzling and dancing and prancing and zipping and zapping, he can still win them over. You know,
Well,
Jimmy
I don't
could
know,
be.
but
You know,
yeah. I mean, Jimmy has
be.
literally more friends than Trey in the locker room right now, so I don't know about that.
Well,
And I mean, yeah.
from professional standpoint, not necessarily going to lean. And Kyle's going to make the final decision anyway, and then the rest have to go along with it. I mean, you're right though. It would feel better if people weren't always all hanging out with Jimmy over at the pizza place, and I'm over here with 2 or 3 people having a Subway sandwich. And then I look up and see Jimmy's picture on the wall at the Subway shop. Oh man, let's go. So I don't know. And then again, they might still get rid of him, but you can't cutting him and getting nothing. That's a heavy loss, though.
I mean, you get like 18 million back, Ronbo. That's still a lot of money. Like, yeah, we're gonna have to if you cut him, you have to pay him like 7 million or something.
Yeah.
Pretty sure, but
it would be nice.
And the
wherever he goes, I
locker
think
room
he
is
get
going to be
compensation.
divided if we bring back Jimmy. Because what if Trey does bad in the game and the locker room starts to say what? Put in Jimmy there, Kyle. Put him in, and that's going to hurt Trey's confidence. What the hell?
Yeah, see, that's the things I think Kyle was concerned with, and also. The guys got to realize they got to give Trey some time, and that's number one. So you're right. The presence of Jimmy would be a problem. It really would, and I knew that.
Yep.
So
and the locker room will be divided. People want Trey in there, and Jimmy, because there's a lot of what's it called? I don't know, divide. I don't know, whatever. But
I think most what you're talking about, most of what you're talking about is going on amongst the fans and media, though. There's peace in that locker room, though, for the most part. But anyway, Jay, we're gonna run out of time. I'll be back tomorrow, though, and let's see what develops.
Yeah. You have a good day, Ronbo.
You too, Jay.
Bye.
And Rakib Jamani says, "Hey, did we just miss the obvious with the G situation? What I mean is, if KS can't win the bowl with G, what other coach would think they can do it?" Oh, Rakib, I think the fact of the matter is, you look at your options, right? You could do worse than Jimmy G. He has some qualities about him that some teams might really be after. That there's something about Jimmy's leadership that I think may be standing out above everything else. He's got attributes. He's got that quick release. He reads and gets rid of the ball quick. If he's got a good run game to support him, I think he'd still be solid, especially with Indy. I think it would have been great, actually. But that's too late now. So, Rakib, thanks for that contribution. And Tony, mahalo, Tony. Thanks for that contribution. Hey, Eric.
Yo, what's up, Ronbo?
Eric, man, we're just sitting here trying to figure out the sudden Jimmy G, no place to go, not going to be able to throw. You could write a song, huh? Not going to be able to throw until July. That's just not fine. Anyway, Eric, what's to become next?
Well, I mean, first things first, Jimmy is not going to Seattle unless the Niners release him and Seattle decides to go out to pursue Jimmy Garoppolo. Then I could see Jimmy G going to Seattle. But the Niners are not going to trade his
salary, right? Because $26 million. Seattle's not interested in paying Jimmy $26 million. That's something people don't even think about.
Yeah, I don't foresee us trading Jimmy G to Seattle. Maybe through free agency they pick him up, but I don't think we're going to be trading him there. And as far as the Baker Mayfield and the Matty Ice thing, I kind of always knew Matty Ice was going to go to the Colts. It just made too much sense. Yeah, the Colts they got rid of Carson Wentz because they said Carson Wentz was not a leader, and then Cleveland said that Baker Mayfield they wanted to get rid of him because he was immature. What does that kind of tell you? Obviously, the Colts were not going to pursue Baker Mayfield with that rumor out there that he's immature.
Such a shorter version of Wentz.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, and then it was basically Matt Ryan versus Jimmy Garoppolo. Matt Ryan was a lot cheaper. Reportedly, we got 2 second-round picks. I don't know how true that is, but it appears that Matty Ice was cheaper. I would say he is a better player overall. I believe he has a bigger cap hit, but I think that only applies to the Falcons, I believe.
Oh, they dead cap. It's the biggest in NFL history. 40 mil. Oh. Ooh,
and that's on top of the Julio.
Please don't go.
Yeah, I think that was on top of the Julio contract that they had to let go a couple years ago. So I believe it ranged between like $63 million that the Falcons have lost in dead cap.
Oh.
So yeah, but I think it just made too much sense for Matty Ice to go to the Colts.
Yeah. I
don't foresee us trading Jimmy anywhere unless a quarterback near training camp manages to get hurt.
Yep.
Or a team doesn't really like their quarterback, then I could see them trading for Jimmy. But I think the best case scenario is the Niners are going to release him near training camp to give the money to Devo or someone like that.
Well, remember they don't. And Nick, their money won't actually affect the cap until next year, when all kind of money kicks in. But it's something to consider. I mean, if you're making that decision, right? So.
Yeah, and they can just let the money roll over into next year, so something like that. And what concerns me is that the Niners do need to fill out the roster, so I don't see why there's at least a little bit more free agents coming in. I understand that the draft is going to help with that, but the Niners are essentially banking on them hitting a couple of starters in the draft. And now I know the Niners are pretty good at drafting, but you need to get. Yeah. I think that your best positions that you draft at, you're already covered. You need to draft a corner. You haven't seen that you can do that. You need to draft a safety. You need to draft an old lineman. We haven't seen that you've been able to do that.
Well, wait. So I got to give him credit for Ambry Thomas. I had no idea he was that good. Remember, Ambry Thomas, the reports of him at the beginning of the year were just frightening. And look what he did. He came in and he grew.
Yeah, and that came with reps. Obviously, someone had to get hurt in order for Ambry to come in. Which is one of the reasons it's kind of scaring me, because something had to happen in order for Ambry to get on the field, and when he got onto the field, he proved to them that he could play.
And he didn't play because of COVID the year before. Ambry Thomas has been good. Other teams just didn't notice because he didn't play in 2020. Yeah, so the 49ers knew. They just didn't know how long it was going to take him to adapt to the NFL. So as long as they keep scouting in that fashion, there's no telling what's happening next, because we do need another corner.
Yeah, it definitely needs more depth there. I like the Ward signing, but I see him more as a Mosley type. I see him like a step above Mosley, not by a lot, but somewhere in that range. So I could see the Niners still going out and trying to grab. They need a slot corner now. They definitely need that.
Yeah.
There's still, I believe Bryce Callahan is still out there.
Who?
Yeah, Bryce Callahan. He was a pretty good. He was actually the slot corner for the Broncos, and I don't know if he was too expensive for them to re-sign, but he's still out there. He's a slot guy. That's Niners still need to address that position. They need to address offensive line. I'm hoping Alex Mack comes back.
Yeah, Eric, we're saying offensive line every year, and corner.
Yeah,
every year.
Mm-hmm. It is every year, and I feel like the Niners have neglected it. Now finally they addressed it, but you need to keep doing it. If they were me, I'd be picking a corner in that range every year, in the draft around the third round, second round. I'd be doing that every year just to try to maximize the amount of talent I could have at the corner position, because that is an important position.
As is offensive line.
It's probably the most important. Yeah.
And because as good as Mahomes is, you saw what happened to him against Tom Brady in Super Bowl 54, was it? Yeah. You can be the best quarterback in the world. If your offensive line is allowing a tough defense, and by the time you get to the Super Bowl, it is going to be a tough defense. You can't stop that off. You can't slow that roll, that defense. I don't care who you are. You're going down. And that's what happens.
It happened to us too.
It happened to us
in the NFC Championship game.
We got a hobbled Trent Williams, and the right side of the lungs got Compton and Brunskill. Jimmy's brave.
Yep, and it happened.
I don't know if I'd have.
It happened in the Super Bowl too.
Yeah.
So it's something that we really need to address. Like right tackle, we have no idea if Mike McGlinchey is going to come back and be even half of what he was. He's coming off a major injury. They're going to have to address right tackle. I don't know if Moore is gonna be that guy because he's going to be that that backup behind Trent in case Trent goes down, or the Niners need to address that position somehow while addressing the loss of Lakin.
It's really scary.
It's going to be hard.
Moore couldn't beat out Compton. What does that tell you? Okay, maybe he just needed another year. So you got to tell yourself things.
Every guy needs time.
Stop worrying.
I'm not ready to call it. I'm not ready to call some of these guys bust. But
no,
I think these guys just need time and reps.
Yeah. And Moore, he was, And what was he, 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round pick? So offensive linemen often come out of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds, and they're not, doesn't mean anything. So we'll see.
Yeah. Anyway. That's kind of why you're picking those guys in that round.
And you have to, and they're used to it. I mean, that's the way it goes in the NFL. They pick up these guys late. But Eric, good stuff. I'm going to be back tomorrow, Eric. Let's see what happens between now and then. And be looking for your input.
All right, Ronbo.
Thanks, Eric.
All right. I'll catch you later.
Looking forward. Have a good night, fam. And let's go check out B-Ham.
How about it, Ronbo?
B-Ham, here we are, parked in that same parking lot we do every year about the same
Hey,
time.
Ronbo. It's March, Ronbo. And guess what?
Yeah.
Jimmy G still on the roster.
B-Ham, I got to tell you, though, I don't want to make anybody mad, but I had a feeling that something like this was going to happen. I said, I watched Jimmy G. The 49ers do a lot of clowning with G because G should have been gone 2 years ago, B-Ham. Tom Brady was in the picture. They was looking at Stafford last year. They've looked at, and Jimmy and Kyle was just pissing off his buddy LaFleur trying to get Rodgers. Every year, Jimmy somehow survived and ended up playing for the 49ers. It's amazing. It's going to be a movie about this years from now.
I'm going to say it again, Ronbo.
It's strange.
I was talking to one of my buddies, Ronbo, and I know we've been on the trade, Jimmy G, get him out of here. Okay, let's just calm down, people. Let's look at the logic here. To get Jimmy G out of here, we got a rookie who hasn't played football really in 2 years. Think about this, Ronbo. When you're a backup, right? Are you on the field?
No.
Are you normally on the field?
No.
So if you're not normally on the field as a backup, that means you basically are not playing football, correct?
That's it. You're just going through the motions in practice.
Yeah, you're just going through the motions. Same thing. Jimmy G had to go through it at some point. Trey Lance is going through it. So right now, I mean, I don't understand the argument. I mean, I see what everybody wants. I see we gave up a lot. But I'm looking at it like this. We get rid of Jimmy G. Well, we didn't trust nobody to back up Jimmy G. So who the hell was finna trust to back up Trey Lance?
That's the best. B-Ham, that's the best part. There is where the horror movie starts. That's Sudfeld, and they paid him $3 million potentially. And if Sudfeld comes in the game, all of us go get up and walk away from the game. Here he comes. Sudfeld's in the game. We're down, 7 points? Game over.
I don't see it, Ronbo. Hey, man, at the end of the day, I must keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying I wonder if Kyle got an Instagram, man. Because if he got an Instagram, I want to, Instagram or Twitter, I'm going to just start texting him speedy wide receiver. Speedy wide receiver.
Yes.
See if we can pick one up. Think about it, Ronbo.
I've been crying about that for how long? Kyle doesn't have social media because he knows people will be coming after him, B-Ham.
Think about it like this, Ronbo. The year we went to the Super Bowl, right? The year we went to the Super Bowl, when we first started that season, everybody was saying, well, what about the 49ers receiver?
B-Ham, the wind is
yeah, I know. I was standing outside.
Okay. See if you
Can you hear me now?
that wind. Okay, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I say we went and got Emmanuel Sanders. After we got Emmanuel, our whole receiving core turned around. If we don't have some kind of speed out there, man, we're going to be having the same conversation next year, this time, saying, well, what do we need to do this year?
I've been trying to get a speed guy for years, and you know what's going to happen, BM, that you mentioned that? People are going to blame it on Kyle next year. Now it's Jimmy's fault we don't go deep. Next year, if we're not going deep, it's going to be Kyle's fault because we know Trey can throw the ball deep. I know Jimmy. I've seen Jimmy's college tape. He can let that thing go all the way from goalpost to goalpost. But who's going to go down and get it? You know, everybody's crying about he overthrew Manuel Sanders. If that had been Marquise Goodwin, that was a touchdown. You know, so the thing is, I don't know why Kyle won't get serious about trying to get a speed guy.
Well, I get a lot of people say, well, maybe y'all need to get Julio. We got guys that can get open, Ronbo. We got guys that can get open. Debo can get open.
Yeah,
Ayuk can get open.
They can get open.
Kittle can get open. No, they can get open. They just can't get deep.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get deep. And if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm gonna just tell my safeties, look, we're not worried about these guys beating us over the top. We know they're receivers.
True.
15, 20 yards.
Yep.
So now we can kind of cheat down in case they decide to run. We can cheat down and kind of load the box up.
And
Jimmy G, if he ain't got no speed, of course Jimmy G looks mediocre. Trey is going to look mediocre too, until he get to running around like a chicken with his head cut off. That's what I tell you, man. We're going to have to do something to keep the defense honest, or we're going to continue. They're going to continue to load the box because they know we're running. If we get some speed, I can almost guarantee you, Ronbo, our running backs won't be going down left and right. Our offensive line may not be beat up left and right. We might have less injuries like that, man.
I've been saying this and over, and everybody thinks I'm a fool. I said, you guys don't understand the game. I'm telling you right now, ain't nobody scared of our receivers. The defensive backs on other teams, they know they can run with our guys. You know, they can get open, short, medium, intermediate routes and things. But you need that guy that says the defense is yelling across the field, 11, 11, 11, 11. You know, you need that. If not,
you need
no
some kind
respect.
Nothing. I believe that same year we had Emmanuel Sanders. I don't know what was going on with Marquise, but I believe
got in the doghouse
with the speed with Keith and with Keith and Sanders. Man, we could have been remarkable. We got in the doghouse.
BM, when you had Keith and George had his banner year because of Goodwin. We got to go though. I didn't realize we was having so much fun. Let me see tomorrow. We got some time, will you?
Okay, man. I'll try to get back in tomorrow.
I hope so. Looking forward, fam. All right.
All right.
There goes Big B Ham and his big rig. Hey, Bethel.
Hey, Ronbo.
Well, Bethel, Jimmy G time again, as we do each and every year. This time Jimmy G is usually the main chapter. Hey, Bethel, this might be the last year, though. But every year, think about it, every year, it's Jimmy G time as soon as the season ends. Now, he's recovering from a shoulder, and everybody's already taken up all the spots he was going to go. And, Bethel, what are you going to do?
Hey, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan did not know these much quarterbacks are going to be out in the market, and these much quarterbacks are going to go to so much teams. Everybody thought that there was going to be enough somewhere for him to go, but they were not expecting Baker Mayfield. Yeah, they were not expecting all these, quarterbacks, to go to these teams. The only issue that I have is that Jimmy's agent decided to, do it. Yeah, he decided to do the surgery late. If he would have did like Baker Mayfield, where he did it right away, maybe, it would have been a little bit different. But because of all this that happened with Jimmy G, kind of screw us over, maybe the Niners are thinking this way. You know what? Let him pass his physical. After he passes his physical, you don't have to pay him that guaranteed hurt money because he passed it. And if you want to trade him, you could trade him. If you want to cut him, you could cut him, and you'll save a lot of. You get 25. You only have to pay him, I think, one something, his guaranteed money, and that's it. So you have more money.
I think he's already been paid his guaranteed money. Bella, you know what? I wonder though. Did his agent actually set that? I don't know that Jimmy actually did. I think they were trying to avoid surgery, but what kind of doctor would go in there first time and not notice? And then, unless he just told you, listen, let's see how that develops and get back in about 2 or 3 weeks because we're going to try to avoid surgery if we can. Maybe that's what happened. And then they decided it's not healing properly. We're going to have to go in there and fix that.
Because in his contract, he doesn't get that money until he plays down, I think, or there's a certain place where he has to be so he can get that money.
But I think he sustained the injury during the season, right? So I figured the contract is still going to cover. I'm not sure.
But remember, if he passes the physical, that means he's okay. He's not injured anymore. If he doesn't pass the physical, then you have to pay him that money, that $7.
Okay, but
because
when did he pass the physical though, Bethel?
No, when he passes the physical, he has to pass it. He has until I forgot what date to pass the physical.
Yeah, but I think
it's the same thing as what happened with D Ford. When D Ford passed the physical, if you want to let him go, he will only count so much on the cap hit.
Oh, okay.
Because he passed the physical.
I guess that's got to take place before June 1st, right? I think dates are important in this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
I don't know if the 49ers are really interested in doing that with Jimmy. You know what? In fact, I think that's a done
they
deal.
maybe are because if Jimmy and his agent didn't say anything until very late, and
Bethel,
the coach said that his injury was all.
Yeah, but he's been
why they
monitored
didn't trade for him.
Yeah, but he's been monitored by the 49ers doctors the whole time. That's probably like mandated. So he's not allowed to just go and do whatever he wants to do, him and his agent, because there'd be scams all over the NFL if that were the case. But I think, I don't know. I just wanted the first doctor that came.
But that's how maybe they look at it. Maybe they look at it as, wait, we did all this for you, Jimmy. We tried to, help you out and everything.
Yeah.
And, now your trade value is gone.
Yeah.
So the best thing they could do is have him pass his physical. When you pass his physical, if you want to trade him or you want to cut him,
then you can do
you
that.
can save a lot of money that way.
Bethel, do you think
and he won't get his injury.
You think he could pass the physical right now?
He that's probably later on the line because he don't have to take the physical until he gets to a certain date. Then he has to take a physical.
All right. Yeah, because I'm not sure how that procedure works, but yeah. But anyway, it's
because I heard some people talking about that where there's a date that they have to go take a physical, and if he passes that, then he's not injured. He's not injured anymore. So because he's not injured, he doesn't get any of that injury money
at that particular time.
Unless he goes play the first game and gets injured, then he gets that guarantee injury money.
Okay. Yeah, because I never cover that much. I do know the 49ers go, if I'm an organization, my doctors are definitely going to be monitoring that situation because you can
remember
and work a scam.
Remember, what's Antonio Brown? He had a contract with the Raiders. If he would have played one game he would have got $35 million, and he got cut, and he was all happy about it, and he didn't even touch none of that money. Why? Because he didn't play one game for that team.
But was this injury was that a football related injury? Or was that him?
No, I think he said something about his foot. He was always complaining about.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. That thing with his feet all burnt up. Nah, that was non-football related. The Raiders could have fought that all day. He wasn't going to get anything for that. Yeah. Yeah,
but he had to get injured while playing, but because he didn't play one down, he didn't get none of that money.
Well, see that's the thing. He played the whole season and he ended up sustaining that injury. I forget what.
But remember, he's repaired everything. Yeah. So if he passes the physical, that means he's good to play.
We're no longer obligated.
And
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Bethel.
Yes, sir.
We spent all the time talking about Jimmy's injury. We're out of time. I will be back.
No, that's just one. That's one thing that that you could see if they want to save a lot of money because of the injury.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out soon.
All right, Ronbo.
All right, Bethel.
Yeah, we'll find out. All right, Ronbo. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. And let us bring in the fly guy. Hey, fly guy.
Ronbo.
Well, fly guy, you've heard it all. You've been listening here tonight and several different angles. Let's hear that fly guy approach on this whole thing. Jimmy Garoppolo is still on the roster, which is making a lot of people crazy. Well, outside of the organization, the 49ers don't seem to be paying much attention. I don't see any reaction, but we never do. But John Lynch is same John Lynch. He gets in front of the mic. Nobody's saying anything. They never do. And speculations as to where he was going to go and all that is, everybody knows he was going to this place, he's going to that place, he's going to this place. All those places have picked up another quarterback. That gave everybody on Twitter tweets that said, see what? Nobody likes Jimmy Garoppolo. He's just garbage, and nobody wants to sign him. So, we're going through that now. And, But, Fly Guy,
John,
what's going on next?
John Lynch out there putting rumors out. They gave him two second round for Jimmy G.
That's my favorite. And Mike Florio took it seriously. Of course, John Lynch, that was a lightweight lie. He should have went further than that. John said, well, I got a first and a third offer. Well, John, why did you take it? Obviously, you didn't get one.
if they gave you 2 second round and you didn't take it, so that means Jimmy just coming back to 49ers, because every team already got their quarterback. Almost one team left or something like that.
A couple of teams.
And then get their quarterback.
The Carolina Panthers. The Panthers still looking for a quarterback. Who else?
Yeah, I'm saying the window is very small now. It's like you said, they gave you 2 second round. I would have took it right there. Like, give me the 2 second round.
John was.
If you're trying to get rid of Jimmy G.
No, he was trying to scam people, man. Fly Guy, he was, because that's what they wanted in the first place. That would have been absolutely what they needed. If you give me 2 first, unless, and like Tony said though, or somebody said, it may have been from Washington, and Tony, and he didn't want to go to Washington. Jimmy didn't want to go to Washington. I just remember that deal. And maybe the 49ers, in spite of what people think, the Niners still like Jimmy Garoppolo. They're going to try to make things nice for him. At some point, you got to play hardball. But right now, they're trying to be nice to him. They're not trying to do a number on him. So of course,
the whole fan base, the whole NFL know 49ers was one player away from winning the Super Bowl. Both years. They always say that 49ers is like one quarterback away from going to the Super Bowl back to back. It's like John Lynch and Kyle, they don't know what they're doing. It's like they go to the doctor and they get a test, and the doctor say, "Hey, yo, man, I think you need a kidney," and they go and buy a liver. That's what they're doing. They rotating players like crazy. Like, what y'all doing? You cut K1 and you go sign a safety for. You could have gave K1 the money. It's like you need a liver, but you buying a kidney. You need a kidney, you buying a liver. It's like you got hired there, you didn't sign, but you go get a different tackle from the Colts, and he haven't proved anything yet to you. You have Hyder that's playing hard all year long. Keep the money. And then when you sign your contract, if you're giving big contract, give less years. Like just like you did with Trent Williams. You got to give Trent Williams like 5 years. Well, you could have given him 3 years. So if we need to get off the contract, we can get off of it quick. And the players that you were signing for $3 million, $4 million, you could give them 5 years because we're gonna keep them under a low payment. That's what a general manager is. You managing the budget. Journalist is not managing the budget. That's why we don't have no money, Ronbo. I've been saying it for so long.
You know, he's. I feel you on K'Wan Williams too. I really hate to see him leave, but you know, K'Wan, he may be finally slowing down. I don't know how old he is, but the thing is, Cooper Kupp never had a day on K'Wan like he did at NFCCG. I think K'Wan may have been injured because, you know, he never lets anybody do that to him. Cooper Kupp's out there having a career night, and that don't happen against K'Wan Williams unless he just ain't feeling it.
Man, the problem with the Cooper Kupp, when he burnt the whole the whole backfield because we was playing zone. It was not one player. It was like everybody playing zone. And one thing we got to do with that defense, we need to get out that zone, Ronbo.
Yeah, because
we can play zone, but if we can burn, get out of it.
I agree.
Play bump and run.
Yeah,
that's what we're not doing. We're not bumping and running. Like get out the zone, play bump and run.
They're going to change a little more. It's going to be a hybrid. They're going to do. It's going to convert depending on who we're playing. It's going to go back and forth now, but nobody's going to be just one-dimensional as far as cornerback skills. You're going to have to be able to do both. This is why Ambry Thomas was the perfect pickup. Diamador, I don't know what's going to happen to him, Fly Guy. You know, he's slow of foot, and that's a problem in the NFL. You know, Mosley's good.
And listen, one more thing too. We know last year we needed to put points on the board, but we do have a running back that can put points on the board, and we let him walk, and we kept Jermichael Hasty. What Jermichael Hasty did for us? He been hurt too, right?
Yeah.
What Jermichael Hasty is doing? He been hurt too.
But
we know Mostert for putting points on the board.
Jermichael's not expensive.
Keeping Hasty and Mostert is the same thing.
Yeah. Elijah Mitchell is good. You know what? I'm with you. I'm with the club that really loves him some Mostert because Mostert, that home run is a potential on every time he gets the ball.
Yeah, man. Mostert put points on the board. He put points on the board because it was that year went to the Super Bowl. Every touchdown was from 30, 40 yards.
I know, right? I mean, the Packers, they didn't have no prayer. That was hilarious. So, you know, if he could just, Bosa would have got big contract this year if he would have played the whole season last year. And we would have went to the Super Bowl last year had Bosa been playing the whole time. Yeah. Even with that broken down offensive line at the end, I still think Bosa would have found a way to get through there. But man.
My question is, how do we keep Jermichael Hasty over Mostert?
They got to keep a certain amount of guys. Jermichael Hasty's got experience.
But, okay, if you're going to pay Jermichael Hasty $3 million, you could give him most of that $3 million.
Wait
Same thing.
Did they pay? Hasty got paid $3?
I don't know. I don't know how much they. I'm just saying. Nah, I don't know how much they gave him, but I'm just saying it's going to be almost close. You don't think so?
No, I wonder what Hasty got. I would think more in the area between 1 and 1.5 with an incentive in it. We'll see.
Give most of that and give most of that and add another $1 million on it.
You got my vote, you know, but most of it's in Miami, where he doesn't have to pay any taxes. Yeah.
Would you rather have if he was a head coach, Mostert or Hasty?
That's not even a question. I mean, I'm not even. Mostert's coming right now. Yeah.
So why does our general managers and coaches don't do that, Ronbo?
I don't know.
Somebody's lying. Come on, man.
Know.
Like,
yeah. Anyway.
So did you think we got better after free agency or worse?
No, I don't know. I don't think it's like Jimmy. The trust of them staying healthy. People think that everybody went out, they got Trey just because they think Jimmy sucks. They got Trey because they told people, we got Trey because we don't want to have to look up at Nick Mullins and, you know, C.J. Beathard if something happens. So we had to go out and get somebody that we feel that can fill that void. So Mostert could be the same thing. They're kind of worried about, okay, we sign him, and then he goes out and gets hurt in week 1 last year. Week 1.
Yeah.
So they're a little bothered. They're scared.
Jeff Wilson came back and got hurt the same year, same one game.
And before the season started. But injuries are going to happen in the NFL. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
It's just a violent game. Well, Flacco, we got to go, though. I'll see you tomorrow. All right?
Yeah.
Appreciate you, fam. Got diagnosed for the need of a kidney and you bought a liver. Hey, Frank.
Ronbo.
Frank, come on in, man. In the middle of that fish sandwich. Frank. Well, Frank.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, you were looking at the Jimmy situation is come to a crossroad. And now the 49ers, their only option is almost, well, they can keep Jimmy or cut him or wait in case somebody needs a QB during preseason. You know, these accidents do happen. Maybe somebody's, oh, hey, John, I just lost my quarterback. You know why I'm calling. Okay, well, just talk to me. What are you going to give it up? You know, and they got to wait for that kind of thing. So, what do you think's going to happen next with Jimmy?
I mean, most likely somebody gonna give up. We might get for him probably like a third, probably a 4th round pick or something.
Who would that be?
4th or 5th.
I know, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what?
Matty Ice
who
is
need
over
quarterbacks?
in
Seattle,
Coltville.
Houston.
Houston?
Who need well, Matt Ryan gone to coach, so
yeah.
That's a question. So I don't know. I'm just waiting to see what's gonna happen. You know, I'm not gonna jump.
That's all we are doing.
You know. So I'm just being patient, like everyone else, and just saying, you know, what moves we try and make. You know what I'm saying, with Jimmy, and you know, hopefully these players that we do sign, you know, that we have been bringing in that we sign, you know, pan out. You know, so I mean, I give John Lynch a little credit on that. You know, the players he do bring in. One thing I give, you know, our defensive line coach, Chris Kaserve, he bring the best out. You know what I'm saying? He bring the best out of the players. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really. Yeah. But you know, the next man up, like next man up though. You know, so I definitely. I can't really argue with them because we done been deep in the playoffs when we healthy, and you know, the last 3 years, you know, we only skipped 1 year, so we
2 out of
went
3
to
years.
Super Bowl.
And would have been. I think they had their best chance in 2020. We had 2 bad boys tight ends. We had everybody was signed back up. They was ready to go. We was going to get that Super Bowl. We're ready. We got experience in that Super Bowl. In the playoffs, we got this. No. One guy after another. Injury.
I mean, I look at it. If we can stay healthy this year, man, I see us, you know, making some noise this year. I don't really, like I said, the NFC wide open, man. I think they made it way easier for Brady. You know what I'm saying? So
that's why he came back. Him and Rodgers.
Yeah, they did. They definitely. Well, now Aaron Rodgers. I ain't worried about Aaron Rodgers. I gotta say, man, it's kind of a trade. I think we can make it this year.
I agree. Because Aaron may be out of the mix. No Devontae Adams, and Aaron still has a penchant. And nobody, you know, Frank, here's the thing. Nobody complains about Aaron. 11 straight years. That's over a decade. He just kicks ass. Everybody loves Aaron. Might be the best in the game. Why can't he win in the playoffs? I keep asking. See, this is what I'm saying. You can tear up the regular season. Him and Russell Wilson, that's what they do. But one Super Bowl, okay, good. You get 11 more shots at it, and you can't get one more? Joe Montana must laugh. People argue with me about the fact, as Joe's holding up his rings, that I'm not the greatest of all time. Tom Brady has been playing how many years? And also, can I add the fact that he hasn't won all those games all by himself? You know, that's why I still call Joe the man. Joe is still the man.
Joe the GOAT. Yeah, definitely. Tom Brady number 2. I give him number 2. Joe number 1.
You can't argue about that.
You can't argue with 4-0. I mean, that's the same thing with LeBron and Jordan. You know, LeBron win more times, but he's 4-6.
You
You know what I'm saying? Joe's 6-0, so you can't. Yeah, that's not really an argument. You can't really debate that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't overlook the
Frank, I can
zeros
take
on
you to
the
3 websites we can go in right now.
you
They'll
know,
argue us down to the ground about Tom Brady being the greatest quarterback of all time. I
I
understand
ain't,
what he's achieved, but I'm still saying if Joe would have played in the same conditions, he'd have 6 or 7 rings as well. They weren't playing hardball like they do back then now.
You can't. It's not. The game is changed. The physicality not the same. You know what I'm saying?
Quarterbacks are not protected.
Back then. Now, you know, quarterbacks, man, you could tear a quarterback up. You can't do that now. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different ball game, man. Can't do it now. You even touch Brady's flag going out. You even get close on flag going out. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, like I say, I mean, I'm just sitting back waiting around, but I ain't ready. You know, I ain't really nothing. You know, just sit back and wait and see what's going to happen, man. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just waiting for the draft and see what moves we make in this draft.
Yeah. Well, it won't be for a quarterback. Frank, you watch college football?
No, not really. Not really. I'm gonna be honest.
This is the first year I've ever heard them declare every last one of them are not worthy of a first-round pick.
You know what? The quarterbacks?
Yeah. I've never.
Oh yeah. No, I think this draft, I think they're more deep with I think corners and defensive tackle. I believe
wide receivers as well.
I believe and wide receiver, wide receiver. So
we're gonna
I'm just waiting to see what we're gonna do, man. We got definitely buff that defense, that secondary up a little bit though. I'm definitely concerned about that secondary and that offensive line.
Every year, Frank. Every year we're saying that. Every single year, we gotta get that offensive line shored up. We gotta get this. We gotta get a cornerback every year.
Yeah, I mean we got that corner, but he okay, but we still need. You
need depth.
So we did kind of talk back, right?
Yeah, you need depth. You know, Tart hasn't signed yet, and I got a feeling, just like K1, they're mad at them for the NFC CG because Tart makes that catch. I think the 49ers in the Super Bowl, even with broke-down Trent Williams. And K1 got smoked all game long by Cooper Kupp. You know, Kyle takes those things seriously. He doesn't excuse for that type of thing. Remember Carlos Hyde?
Matty Ice?
Matty B?
Tom, I go over to Miami, man, with McDaniel, man. You know he's snapping all our players, man.
I know. You know he would.
Yeah,
anyway,
he might be over there.
Frank, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna see you tomorrow, fam. I hope you got some time for us. It's always fun to hear you.
yeah, for sure, man. Love you, Ronbo. Shout out to you and production, man. Let me get back to this fish sandwich, man, and sit back and
Frank never runs out of fish sandwiches.
got a fish sandwich with some half fries and a Gatorade. I know that's a wild combination, but
it really is.
Have a good one, Ronbo.
You too, Frank.
All right.
So you gotta, if you're ever in the neighborhood of Frank, you got to go to his house and have dinner with him, man. Pull out them fish sandwiches. Big show! Even if teams do need a quarterback, should one go down, there's no one that's going to trade for $27 million before season begins. See, this is a show. I mean, it's just clear logic. It's just clear logic. Just to be a one-year bridge doesn't make financial sense. So that's why Tony proposed what's probably going to happen. You extend Jimmy. You have to. You make it easier to trade him. Watch that be the next thing the 49ers do. Watch. No, we're not keeping Jimmy. I'm just saying that's a possibility. Get ready for that. Emilio.
What's happening?
Emilio, man. Jimmy time. Same time. Jimmy time. Cornerbacks. Offensive line.
I got a hot take for you.
All right, give it to me.
I say, Mac Jones gets hurt.
Yeah, we talked about that. That's
the Patriots.
Papa Dragon mentioned that one.
Oh, okay. I was like,
you almost was first. Because I hadn't thought about that.
Mac Jones gets hurt. He goes back to the Patriots.
He immediately. I'd be happy for him too. You know, because that means he comes full circle. You know. And Belichick gets him back where Belichick already said, I wouldn't have used Jimmy like the 49ers do. Well, okay, Bill. Now you got him back. Use him like you think fit, So.
And then you got a 49er versus Patriots Super Bowl.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh, God. Jimmy versus Trey. Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd
be fun.
That'd be the prime time.
That'd be a fun one.
Because I was wondering, we ever see a Jimmy versus Brady? At least in the NFC Championship, NFCG. That would have been fun. But only if they're both healthy. Only if they're both healthy. And I got to have Trent Williams. Nothing else, I got to have Trent Williams. We didn't have him against the Rams.
No. Like it is what it is with Jimmy. I'm not even worried about it no more. Either sooner or later he's going to either get cut or they're going to trade him when somebody needs a quarterback.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to get rid of him right away. We'd have moved on.
You know what you can't do, though? You can't have him and Trey sitting on the same bench. I don't know how they're going to work this because if they have a competition between Trey and Jimmy, it's not fair,
I don't even think it's going to be a competition. Honestly, I don't see a competition because you got to really think about it. Why would you give Sudfeld guaranteed money? That's just a waste of time. Why would you do that?
They did that last year.
You should have cut Sudfeld.
Put him on the practice squad.
I think that was more on purpose because they really thought Trey was going to, be the starter. I think that's what that was. I don't think they do that again. I think this time it's just for, what?
At the trade deadline?
That would actually be done by the whole front office. I'm like, okay, again, you're paying a quarterback that's not going to do nothing or not know he's going to be the backup. That's just stupid. You can kind of see Jimmy out the door one way or another. And then he wouldn't have said his goodbyes if he knew he was going to stay regardless. He knows he's good.
Yeah, but Jimmy doesn't know what's going on with the front office. They don't tell. I don't think they tell the players anything until they have to.
Nah, I mean it depends what kind of organization. You can see when it comes to 49ers, you see the owners, the front office more upfront with the team. At least with the 49ers. You got to look at other teams. They don't do it. Like you look at the Seahawks. They weren't upfront with Bobby Wagner. 49ers are more upfront with their players.
They did a number on a couple of people in Seattle. I forget, not only Russ, or not only Bobby Wagner.
Well, they've done it to Sherman. So I think the 49ers are more upfront. They wouldn't do that just to,
what I mean is
we're not going to keep you. We're going to cut you.
They would let you know. They're always upfront. But I mean, the thing is, right now the 49ers. I don't think Jimmy knows what's going on with the 49ers. Not yet. But if something does go down, they'll tell him right away, like they did when they said they're going to go draft Trey.
If I say he should know something, but like I said, when they were going to trap Trey, they were like, well, they told him, wow, like, dude, you're not healthy. You got to go to another team. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't tell him. You know what?
Emilio, I don't think the 49ers know what they're going to do right now. Honestly, I don't. I wonder if they actually know because all the doors got closed of where they was talking. So it's kind of funny.
I think, with Jimmy, he maybe did throw a wrench, in there, come out his shoulder, trying to get surgery. But I think at this point, they know what they want to do. They're gonna get rid of him. They were just trying to,
Yeah. Well, Plan A is
trying to get a trade for him, but a lot of
a
few teams did come out and say was like, we're not gonna go a chance on Jimmy because he's getting surgery. So. Like I said, it's not even gonna be a big hit anyway. Even if we do cut him, we're still gonna save the $25 million. Even if they cut him today or they cut him at the beginning of preseason, it doesn't matter. We're not gonna get a big hit, so it doesn't matter. Like I said, we do cut him, we still save that money either way, so it's not a big effect on them. I do think at this point they're not worried about it.
Yeah. So, and I assure you that's right. But if you look at John Lynch, I mean, we could go down and meet John Lynch at the bar right now. He'd be laughing and joking. And suddenly one of us say, John, so the situation with Jimmy and the money's involved. Listen, guys, let me buy another drink, okay? Because I'm going to go to the bathroom, and I'll be right back. I can see. John, you're not going to answer the question, are you? What is up with that?
He doesn't need to. At this point, you should all know the answer. Like I said, it doesn't matter. No matter, like I said, it doesn't matter if we keep Jimmy to the preseason. At the end of the day, they cut him. We're not going to owe him anything. We're going to save us $25 million. So it doesn't matter. Of course they want something for him.
And there's that possibility. They got to wait till the last minute.
They just want something for him.
They got to wait till the last minute. You got to try.
They just want something for him. That's all that is.
You paid all that money for him. And if they could just get the same picks they got back, if they get a second-round pick back, then, it's almost okay. But like you said, $26 million, like Big Show says, I'm going to pay you $26 million for 1 year. That's why it's probably, the 49ers are probably going to extend his contract and make it tradable.
No, even if you do, you don't. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's not. You can just cut them. You're not doing anything. Like I said, when you do with those $7 million supposedly, either one. Let's say we cut them, and let's say the Patriots pick them up. The Patriots got to pay that $7 million. We don't. So
we need some kind of compensation as a thing. Well, that's Plan C.
That's what that is. They just want something.
Yeah.
That's what that is. They just want something for not for nothing. But at this point, if they say, you know what, Jimmy, forget it, you're done. That's it. Somebody else signs you. You don't have to. We're not on the hook for anything. They just want something for it.
He would have got traded because Evie not been in the hospital. Because you know what? No matter what anybody says, if you're in the mix 2 out of 3 years, you're going to be in demand. He just, you got hurt, went to the hospital, got an operation just in time. I mean, we'll go. I tell you what, let me look for you tomorrow, fam.
All right. You have a good night, sir.
You too, fam. Night, video.
Night.
And here he is, Tony, the man who Matty Ice said, look, Tony, you're a good guy, but everything, but these people around here, I'm not putting up with them any longer. Tony!
Ronbo, the end of an era. I'm very happy for him, his family. I saw the press conference, and his 2 twin boys. They're so cute, Ronbo.
Yeah.
They ran up to Frank Wright and gave him 5, and
right.
Matthew did it hard. Boy, slapped his hand. I'm like, oh my goodness.
How old are his boys?
About 5.
Oh, that age, that fun time. Yeah.
Yep.
So
They had on number 2 Colt jerseys, both of them with their names on the back of them.
Like Brady. Brady's 2 boys walking with the mom on some photo recently. They're getting tall fast. There was 2 more Bradys. Can you imagine? They could be like the Manning family, Can you imagine?
Ronbo, that AFC is stacked, man.
It's crazy.
I mean, because the Colts just traded, Yannick and then Brockway, that pass rusher.
To who?
They just got him from the Raiders, and they got him, DeForest Buckner, which They drafted that Quiddy guy from Michigan in the first round last year. They got 3 first-rounders on their defensive line. And the Darius Leonard, the all-pro linebacker, he's talking to Julio, trying to get Julio to sign with Indy.
Julio,
Buffalo.
Is Julio free to leave Tennessee? He had
He's
a
a
1
free
year
agent. Yeah, they cut him.
Oh,
he's a free agent.
wow. That's right. That happened how long ago?
About a week and a half ago.
Yeah. I looked at it. I didn't even wince because, Julio's getting treated like that these days. And so I didn't really trip. Because, he's too expensive.
How many stars, like in the entertainment business, you say Michael, it was Michael Jackson, Prince. In the NFL, and I pissed a lot of people off, you say Julio, everybody knows what you're talking about. You ain't even got to say it for that thing.
I feel bad for Julio because Julio, whatever amount of games he plays, he's going to have an impact, even if it's only 4 or 5 games. I'd keep Julio on ice, somehow get a little playing time here and there, and have him ready for the playoffs, Because at this point in his career, he is fragile. He's going to get hurt. Or worse, the man runs so fast, the body's not designed to actually run like that all the time. Especially sudden stops and things like that, But I still want a speedster.
That's 6'3", 220.
Oh.
That's 6'3". Yeah.
Julio, it was the prototype at that time. Just a football machine. And he proves it. Oh. But listen, don't tell what's his name. What is it? It comes out and argues with Jerry Rice every once in a while. It started out with the Vikings. Why I can't think of his name all of a sudden?
Randy Moss.
Randy, right? Don't tell Randy that because Randy will argue you down, boy. Man, Julio. he's all right, but I got plenty to say about that. Randy, you come out every other year or 2 or 3 years to talk about Jerry Rice is not the greatest of all time. Stop. Sit down. Quiet.
All you got to do to decide that argument is pull up the Randy Moss tape with the Raiders when I play when I want to. End of discussion.
How about some stats? Randy did not have 100 yards, almost 100 yards average a week. So I don't know what gets into him to start yelling about how he's the greatest of all time. I mean, come on, Randy.
And I saw this little short vid on Twitter the other day. It was Jerry Rice's last year at 42. He was burning people with the Seahawks wearing Steve Largent's bumper. He was burning people, Ronbo, at 42.
The dude is a phenomenon. Always was. Jerry did. You know what he did in his 40. Jerry's not supposed to be running as fast as you've seen him running on a football field. But Rice, Rice did not get snatched down from behind. Nobody ran and got Jerry Rice. You know.
No.
Okay. So Debo's like the same way. Debo's 40 speed is not off the chart, but it's hard. I did see him get caught once this last year, but Debo was tired. We was in some high altitude, I think, that week. Because I remember he was on the side. He had the oxygen tank going and everything. Debo was worn out from the run because he had ran 60 yards before they caught him, And the dude was right on him. So I give that dude credit. But that's the only time I remember Debo getting caught.
Earlier in your chat, when I came in, I didn't see Marketing Pro or ready to go. I said, hey, Niner Empire, what's happening? I strolled and I see there's no Marketing Pro and no ready to go. Then 10 minutes later, here they come. I'm like, oh heck, here comes the bacteria. Here comes the bacteria that's infecting Ronbo's chat.
Tony, they probably saw you and they're waiting for you to come in. Did they come in to mess with you? Because I saw Marketing Pro check in. I haven't seen Ready yet.
Marketing Pro always ignores me, but Ready to go, we always mix it up a little bit.
But
Ronbo,
talk to me about your new quarterback, though.
I think you guys are in a good position with Jimmy because Peter King even said it best. He said the Niners don't need to rush trading Jimmy. Let him heal because if somebody gets hurt in preseason training camp,
and it happens every year,
they're going to call you guys.
And the 49ers know how to manage money. Everybody thinks Nick and Debo's, their contracts are not going to be an issue because it doesn't kick in until next year. And Jimmy will probably be whatever at that time. So, yeah, they've got this figured out. And also the money will increase around the league, so it's not as pressing as some fans do. Tony, see, this is the thing. A lot of fans don't look into things. They just start going on their own gut instinct and what they know. They don't know. And they start screaming and yelling. I mean, why? So I stopped talking to this.
Just like they believe this ESPN hype and Mel Kiper and Malik Willis. I typed it in your chat. I'm like, oh, you mean the same Malik Willis in his last regular season game lost 35-16 to Army at home and threw 3 interceptions?
He lost to Army?
Willis? I said, Falcons draft Malik Willis, I'm done with him. I'm done.
You know what? If I'm the Falcons, you got Mariota, the Michael Vick light skin version. Why bother to force the issue? Stay with Mariota and wait till next year, or you got a 2-year contract on Mariota. Stop.
Yes.
Don't do. Most managements don't do like the fans. Everything's not. Do it now. You take calculations. You try to do an intelligent move, or else you'll look like the fans at the end of the day, not knowing what you're doing or talking about. So
I agree.
Yeah. So
I agree. We should take that 8th overall pick and trade down, get a first-round pick for next year, Ronbo. That's 2 first-round picks. Now you can use those 2 first-round picks to draft your quarterback. Straight up, do what you got to do.
Is anything coming up next year as far as quarterback market? Do you know of?
Yes, a lot better. I don't know who they are, but a lot better than the ones this year.
I know, right? These guys, I've never seen Can you imagine being a quarterback in this year's draft? And the people say, man, they say we're not worth a first-round pick. And one of them looks at the other one, you ain't, for sure. I can see them taking shots at each other.
Yeah, embarrassing. Like Rudy just took a shot. He didn't really take a shot in the comments. He's talking about our cap hit of $40 million. After he called him Matty Slice. How about that, Ryan?
Hey. Oh, we're out of time.
Get it?
Tony, $40 million cap hit. I forgot about that dead cap hit. That freaked me out. I've never seen that before. That is the biggest in NFL history.
Yep, him, and then Julio's 23. That's $63 million.
Oh, God. That's it, though. You don't have any other big-ticket players, do you? That cost that kind of money.
Grady Jarrett, he probably wants to get traded as defensive tackle. They had 3 sacks in the Super Bowl against Brady.
How much?
He probably wants to.
Well, how much money is he getting paid?
He's making about 15 and a half a year.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, so you don't have to worry about any huge dead cap hit with him, even if no matter what happens. Yeah. All right, Tony. Fun stuff as usual. I'll tell you what. I'll see you tomorrow if you got time.
I'll see you tomorrow, sir.
Have a great night, Tony.
Take care.
You too. Wait, forget about it. It's not a Mike. Come on in, Mike.
We know the times at checkdowns. You paying the guy $140 million, $130 million, whatever he's getting paid. Man, go ahead. He got to throw the ball. Obviously, he didn't do that. They threw for about 200 yards on checkdowns. That ain't enough to win a game against them.
Oh, there it is. There's the sound bite. What's going on, Ronbo?
Mike, man, it's right up your alley too. We're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo.
It is right up my alley.
Yeah.
The title of the show. I hope all of you heard that sound bite loud and clear. That was Mr. Frank Clark directly after the Super Bowl describing Subway Jimmy, all right, and letting everybody know that we wasn't eating fresh. And now I want everybody to know that the NFL has spoken loud and clear, all right? The Falcons ready to go with a guy that hasn't started a game in 5 friggin' years with Mariota, all right? Mitchell friggin' Trubisky found himself a starting job before we can get rid of Jimmy Fragilio, all right? We're talking about complete and utter trash right now, all right? Complete and utter trash right now. We couldn't give Jimmy away if he was getting served in a soup kitchen line, for fucking Christ's sakes right now. Ronbo, what's going on over here, you know? How the hell are you doing? Because I think you got to be loving it, right? Jimmy on the roster for another day, another hour. Doesn't look like he's going to go anywhere unless we, drive him out to the middle of the desert somewhere and just leave him there and take off. You know, got all these Jimmy stands calling in, saying, or typing on the chat there, Trey should sit 1 more year. Forget about it. Forget all about it. And all the people talking about, well, what are we going to do if Jimmy gets injured? I got news for you. All right, this team, the front office right now, current regime has never worried about a backup quarterback. That's why yours truly was backed up by none other than CJ. I can't throw more interceptions than you could count Beathard. And Nick, I was never drafted Mullins. All right? So we've always had a backup, whether it's been a 5th round or an undrafted free agent. So I don't want anyone to talk about, what are we going to do if he gets injured and all this other crap.
You're talking about the last 5 years, right?
Forget about it.
You're talking about the last 5 years. Is that right? Because we've had backups.
Yeah, exactly, Ronbo. For the last 5 years, that's how they've run. That's how they've run it. They haven't run it any different. So it's not any different for Trey. It's not crazy to think that Nate Sudfeld would be the backup because that's just kind of the way that it's operated, you know?
Yeah.
Right? So, and like I said, this right here proves a point, ladies and gentlemen, of the jury, of the listening community, of any one of you out there that are wondering what's going on with your life. Listen here, Dynamite is going to tell you right now what you saw was a unanimous decision, unanimous by all 31 other teams, that they are not willing to even depart with a particular asset for this guy, that everyone claimed to be this untouchable winner, this magnificent doer of doers, this super supreme, all we do is win and scream, everybody blow me later.
and forget about it. All right, Ronbo? Just forget about it. And you know what? I really hope and pray that this organization can actually, for once in their life, just man up when they make a mistake and don't drag this friggin' guy into training camp or anywhere near it to make it a toxic, cancerous situation for the entire team, because that's exactly what it'll be. I've seen it before. I've seen it happen before. Locker rooms being divided, locker rooms being at odds is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. It happens. It has happened in the NFL. And if you're old enough and you've watched enough football, like I'm sure you have, Ronbo, you know that that is exactly what happens. And it would be a catastrophe to let that happen to this young kid that we spent 3 first-round picks on. 3 of them, all right? And it would be a travesty to let that happen in this situation, Ronbo. It would be disgusting to let that happen. And the sad part is, there is a possibility that these bastards actually do it. You know why? Because they've shown before. This front office has been great at getting specific talents, bringing people in, drafting late in the draft, which I give all the fucking credit to guys like Michael Peters, all right? The guy that John Lynch immediately hired from the Broncos as soon as he became GM. If you think that John Lynch is responsible for any of these guys that we've been snagging in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round, you're smoking crack cocaine, all right? Because those guys are got by the guys that go out there and they actually know how to look at prospects. They know how to sit there and go through different players and understand where they are and evaluate real talent. That's why we've hit on late and mid-round draft picks, all right? That's a fact. But guess what? When it comes to the obvious mistakes, when it's come to the blunders, they sit there and to cut their nose to spite their friggin' face, Ronbo, and it pisses me off. And you think I'm making it up? I'll just mention a few names. A la Solomon Thomas. Is there anyone in the chat right now or any 49er fan that thought that in year 3, Solomon Thomas was going to magically become a 3rd overall pick worthy player? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Not ever. Did anyone think that after Dante Pettis showed up to training camp in his freaking thigh-high pink shorts that he was going to ever be that great receiver that they wanted him to be? No. But they kept him around for multiple years and wasted and jerked off everybody. And right now, before your very eye, Mr. Subway Sandwich Eat Fresh himself, who sat there and stuck it to the Niners by deciding to get a friggin' surgery a month and a half after they told him he needed surgery, and he decided to do it at the beginning of the freaking free agent period, which was the ultimate jerk-off move. And still people come in here and defend this guy. And it freaking pisses me off. It really pisses me off. And all you freaking degenerates out there that thought this guy was worth more than a bag of freaking, I don't even want to say a bag of chips. Even those with inflation are over $2 right now. Let's go. He's worth a bag of the 25-cent chips that you used to get back in the 90s and a freaking pack of Rolos. You're out of your loop. Because nobody wants to give us nothing for this guy. People would rather go with lifetime backups to start their season, sell their fan base. Could you imagine that, Ronbo? A proud fan base.
I like Subway sandwiches, Mike. Mike, production's going to cut us off.
They're going to go with Mitchell friggin' Trubisky over
tonight.
here.
My God.
Seriously.
Mike, we got to stop, though, Mike. I didn't interrupt. I didn't interrupt.
Sad, Ronbo.
You made it clear.
I don't have enough weed to roll up to deal with this shit because it's so friggin' sad and pathetic. But anyway, Ronbo, thank you for letting me rant. Thank you for letting me rave. And I hope some of you out there with a brain can educate yourselves and understand the situation and just forget about it. Forget about all the pipe dreams you have in your head about Jimmy freaking Fragilio, because it's all garbage. All of it. Forget about it, Ronbo. I love you. Shout out to you. Shout out to the freaking to the production staff, and shout out to all the real faithfuls out there that got their freaking heads screwed on straight and know what the hell's going on. I'll talk to you later, Ronbo. Forget about it.
All right, Mike. Have a good night. Jesus. Whew. Okay. Ellis. Be scared, Ellis. Well, that's rough. Ellis never gets scared. Ellis. Okay. Oh, Ellis, we'll be back. Hey, Jack. Maybe Ellis probably escorted the kids.
What's going on, Rambo? Hey, Rambo. You know, we talking about fish sandwiches tonight. I don't think we're gonna get a fish sandwich for Jimmy Garoppolo.
A fish or a Subway. Mike's talking not even a Subway sandwich. You know, yeah, it's a situation. You know what?
Mike went in on Jimmy, man. Jimmy Fazilio. Oh man.
And you know something, Jack? I got to tell you, man. I saw this deal going south when the 49ers made it clear we're getting rid of somebody. As soon as you do that, you put yourself at a disadvantage because now I'm going to play you. If I'm going to try to get Jimmy from you, all right, y'all get rid of him anyway, right? Well, for a price.
Man, you know.
I mean, but there was no other thing that I guess there was nothing else they could do. But when you do that, you put yourself at a disadvantage. So if you're going to trade Jimmy, everybody doesn't need to know. And now everybody knows, and they sat back and clowned, you know. And then he goes in the hospital.
We can enjoy this fish sandwich.
Yeah. And then he gets an operation. I'm not paying him $26 million. I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, he gets out of the hospital. He misses all the preseason. I need to indoctrinate him into a new program, a new system. He's got to get familiar with my receivers and everything else. Well, you know, that's why I say, you know what? Later on, if we find out that 49ers had anything to do with the positioning of all this, people are going to be livid. But it looks like, I don't know that Jimmy wanted to continue to play with the 49ers. I really don't. I mean, he likes his guys, but he might have been just as soon leaving from what happened. He's a nice guy, and Jimmy's not going to make a big rip roar and act stupid during the season. He's going to go out there and do the best he can because that's who he is. But this part where I wait, go get the surgery later, recovery's not going to take place until, who's going to trade for me? I'm not paying you $26 million for 1 year, and he doesn't know anything about my system. People have already said, Ronbo, Ben, you're crazy, but it sounds like I smell a rat.
Yeah, something's fishy going on in there, like that fish sandwich. But I tell you what, Rambo, if Kyle and John was offered 2 second round for Jimmy, I think
they would have took it in a heartbeat.
So I don't believe any of that story that's going on out there. They would have took that. It's too hard to not give that up. You know, now they got to pay somebody to take Jimmy.
Maybe. How many teams have done that?
You know,
Wentz got. There's been a couple of quarterbacks.
Yeah, there's been a couple, but you know, I think
they'll just cut.
I think just cut him. The worst scenario is that if Mike was just saying, you know, if we start the season with next year with Jimmy, you know, I don't know if we all forgot, you know, Jimmy gets hurt. So if he was to go into next year with Jimmy, he's going to get hurt. Trade takes over. That would be Jimmy's last game. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to dump him. He's probably more valuable on draft days, or somebody like or somebody like you said. I know somebody brought up the Patriots with the scenario of their rookie. Max? What's the guy over there?
Mac
the quarterback.
Jones. But I think they like Jones and think he has potential.
Yeah, they do, but it has to be a team that's going to go after Jimmy. Has to be a team that doesn't have a starting quarterback signed already to a big contract. It has to be under a rookie contract that they're playing
That's
under,
what people, that's what
Mac
a lot
Jones,
of people who are yelling and screaming. That's what they just look past that fact. I'm not picking. If I'm a GM and I pick him up, then my owner's going to say, "Listen, that move you just made, you're fired." That's it. That's a dumb
Jimmy
move.
It's a dumb move. And, you know, Jimmy has the record of he win games. But, you know, every team ain't just playing to win games. They're playing to win Super Bowls.
True.
Not just to win games. They want to win Super Bowls. So, you know, I don't mind if Jimmy starts the season as long as he don't finish the season.
No.
You know what I mean? You know, it's a couple of things I wanted to, you know, talk about, too, tonight really quick before I get off the phone. You know, I think, you know, who was that left the offensive line? Who went to Denver? Who was that went to Denver?
Right, left tackle, left guard is
Left
Lincoln
tackle.
Tomlinson.
Okay,
Lincoln Tomlinson.
I think that can be Lincoln Tomlinson. I think that can be corrected with a nice rookie. It depends on the rookie though. The rookie got to be pretty. It got to be. It might work because you got to remember we got Trent on that side, so Trent will be able to coach him up or it'll be right there next to him, so we can fix that.
Aaron
and then another
Banks.
thing on offense.
You got faith in Aaron?
Aaron Banks.
Okay,
only
he
the
played
Niners
left
know
side.
what the Niners got.
And it's footwork. I think he was having trouble. Kyle's offensive system is tough enough with all the pre-snap movements and all the things they do. Aaron Banks is probably just blown away. And, you got to put him on the right side. I don't even play the right side, Coach. So, now that we're on the left, he should be able to.
But the Niners know what they got. The Niners know what they got in-house. You know what I mean? And then on offense, I really would like Kyle to maybe kind of revisit what he did with try to put a 2 tight end set when I think we had got a tight end a couple of years back, but he got hurt in the season. He never finished the season. I think he was trying to do like a 2 tight end set with him, but he got hurt. I think we can address if we can maybe bring in another tight end, maybe a veteran to help out George another end.
I was waiting for that. You talking about last year, George? What's his name?
Jordan. His name was Jordan something. Yeah, so that can clear up things a little bit too. That would look really nice with all the pieces we have. So that would be another addition. Plus, we need a speedy guy on the outside. We can address that in the draft. You know what I mean?
I'm one of the few people that just won't let that go. I ain't, man. All this thing about going down the field deep, I got to have a speedster, man. Got to have it.
Yeah, speedster. So that if you do that right there on the offense, I think that's to solidify the offense. Now on defense, this is what I'm thinking about. Now that same year, if you remember the Smith and Smith brothers we had, Alden Smith on the outside and Smith on the inside. Now we can correct the defense a little bit if we was to help out Bosa and put somebody on the inside that can win the one-on-one matchup every time, so that the offensive line, the opposite team. I don't know if Javon might be ready for that. I haven't seen anything that really tells me he can win that one-on-one matchup every time. See, this guy got to be skilled on the inside. He got to win the matchup just like Bosa do. So they don't know who to double. So if they double, one of these guys is going to be open. It's going to be Sack City all day. So that's how you address the defense with the line a little bit. We need somebody that's grimy, somebody even better than DJ Jones, just somebody that can win that one-on-one matchup and put him right next to Bosa. You don't really have to worry about the other side. You can put like Arden Key, somebody else over there might be able to help out. But if you put somebody next to Bosa on the inside, that might work out. I think that might work out.
You know Arden Key's out. He's in Jacksonville today, looking for a job.
Yeah, well, another surprise to me, Rambo, is that I know that everybody's saying we haven't signed nobody yet. I'm actually looking out for us to release some people.
Well,
we haven't released anybody yet. I'm looking at Josh Norman. I'm looking at a couple of guys that I think that
that's what
we probably should be releasing.
That's what I didn't know K'Wan Williams was leaving either, and I just found out he got signed today. Right? We just found out. What the 49ers do is they don't say nothing to you until you go out and you figure it out yourself. But all your people, your names you're talking about, Josh Norman ain't coming back next year. I don't think Kwaski T's coming back next year either.
Yeah, and Kwaski, he's gone because, I'll tell you what, you put a top safety in the league that they wouldn't have missed that pass in that game against the Rams. You can't do that one. You gotta make that. I think for that mistake he made, he's in the doghouse. He might not get signed for that.
They got George Odom.
I don't see.
And I'm not sure, but George Odom.
He's unproven, Ronbo. He's unproven. He's a special teams guy.
Yeah,
but he's a thumper. He's a thumper, but he's a special teams guy.
Seems to know what he's doing in that position. I don't know how good he is.
Actually, you know what? I actually got faith in the young rookie we picked up from USC last year. I know he doesn't have the speed, he doesn't have the speed, but he has the instincts, Rambo. He has the instincts to get there. You don't need speed if you got instincts. You don't need speed if you have instincts. So I think only the Niners know what they got, Rambo. So I'm gonna leave it as it is. I think I said enough tonight, man. We shouldn't have nothing to worry about. We a good team. We just need some pieces, you guys. So I don't know when the next time you on, Rambo.
Be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. I know you got more to callers. Thanks for the platform.
Thank you.
Check you out tomorrow.
All right, looking forward to it, fam.
All right.
Have a great night. All right.
Yes, sir.
And it's T-Flow.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Hi, Ronbo.
Hi, Allie. Yeah, we're just sitting here. People were going over the fact that all the quarterback destinations for Jimmy G seem to have already been filled, and now the speculation is, what are they going to do? You're going to keep him? You're going to cut him? Somebody brought up maybe fix his contract so it's tradable. People. I know you got. What do you got some ideas about? I mean, what are they going to do?
Well, basically, if that rumor was true, they had two second-round picks. They should have traded them right then and there. If they had a fifth-round pick, they should have traded them, because not everybody, like the media, sees Jimmy Garoppolo as like the quarterback to put you into the games, where he's going to throw like every game 300 yards, more touchdowns than interceptions, where it's not like almost like 2-to-1. Like the ratio, the touchdown to interception ratio is better. And what they messed up is they should have got rid of him before the deadline even started. If they couldn't trade him, they should have just released him so it saves $26 million. Where basically we can sign players because like you said earlier, and everybody else knows, when the way Prague is, he puts the salary cap in the first 2 years cheap, and towards the back end, that's when it's more expensive. So basically, we could have been like everybody else in the league, like the whole, look at the AFC West, right? Denver gets better, all right. So this with all that money KC has, they get Reed and they get Juju Smith, right? Then the Raiders get a lineman, a pass rusher, and Chandler Jones, and they get one of the best receivers. And you see Denver's just getting practically almost whatever they can get a hold of. But we were seconds away of going to the Super Bowl, and we haven't yet replaced anybody who's better than who we lost. So I don't get what John Lynch is doing. Like, I don't know what he's trying to say, because this is the 49ers. Like, we should literally go all in, because last time the Niners won the Super Bowl was in 94-95, and what did they do? They went all in. They grabbed the best cornerback in the NFL, Deion Sanders. They got Ken Norton Jr. Right? They went all in to win. But with Prague, Jed York, and they're just trying to get go to the bargain store and just see if they can go to get second-tier players.
But people remember,
they have
94. The salary cap hadn't been established.
Yeah, it hasn't came in, but they went all out.
Yeah.
Right? They went all out. Like, look at with the salary cap this year. Look at Tampa Bay. They went all out. They got a bunch of players. Look at the Rams. They went all out. They won the Super Bowl. So why aren't the Niners trying to go all out?
Well, they just did. They didn't go get an established vet, but they gave up 2 first-round picks.
Two first-round picks for an unknown quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's not really going all out.
Yeah. I now they don't have any first-round picks to trade for the players you're talking about.
Check this out, Ronbo. They cleared up $18 million, right?
Yeah.
Right. They cleared up $18 million.
Week? Yeah.
Yeah, last week, right? They cleared up $18 million, right? If they would have cut, or if they even had an offer, 3rd-round pick, 5th-round pick, 4th-round pick, they should have went and did it. Because for some reason, usually the first 2 picks, if we don't have the top 3 picks, we don't really win in our first 2 rounds. It's usually 3rd, 4th, 5th we hit.
I know, right?
Right? They should have just got whatever they can. If they could have got gas money, they should have just traded Jimmy Garoppolo for gas money or something.
Expensive gas is right now. Yeah, it would be a bit.
And think about it. So we got $18 million. Right? We free up Jimmy's $27 million. Right? That's almost like what? Almost $40 million right there in cap space. Where we could have probably re-signed DJ Jones. We could have probably got Chandler Jones. We could have also got a CJ Jackson, and even with the we could have probably even got Reed, Eric's Reed little brother. We could have probably got him.
With
all the money we would have had in cap space.
Eric Reed's brother, is he good?
Yeah, he's good. He went with KC.
I got to check that out. I've been wondering about him. I forgot about him. What's his first name?
Yeah. So I forgot, but it's Justin Reed.
I gotta check that out. I've not paid attention.
So
I remember he came in the league, but I hadn't been paying attention to him. Okay. Is he a free agent already?
Oh, dude, like he signed first day with KC. Quick. He was a first day.
I thought he just got drafted. Did he get drafted a couple, 2-3 years ago, or was he a free UDFA?
Yeah, exactly. 3 years ago. Remember, NFL they're only guaranteed 3-year contract if you're not a first round pick. If they don't get that option, like they're free agents.
I thought it was 4.
So basically, John Lynch had all this time because we all knew that Jimmy Garoppolo is not an easy trade aspect because one, he gets hurt. He never had a season where he's never been hurt. 2, his touchdown to interception ratio is not that good. 3, he doesn't really throw outside the numbers. Right, so they should have just either traded him, if not, they should have released him. They could have freed up a whole bunch of cap space and got the players to win the Super Bowl. But I really don't know what's going on with the front office.
I just hope it's as easy as everybody thinks. I don't know that Jimmy Garoppolo, 2 out of 3 years, I don't know if it's just he ain't Irish and he ain't just lucky. I don't know how you can get lucky to do that twice. But we're going to see. If it just happens next year, then we get all the way to the Super Bowl.
Defense.
Yeah.
Niners had defense. Niners had a running game.
That's true.
Niners had a good running game.
Yeah,
look at if we had 2019 running game like as good as 20 of last year, we would have probably went to the Super Bowl again. But we didn't have that home run hitter in Raheem. We didn't have that. We just had a good serviceable back.
T-Flow, I got to
and
tell
that was
you,
it.
though,
We didn't rotate or nothing.
I got to disagree because I tell you right now, if Trent Williams isn't hobbled with that bad foot, and if Jimmy G doesn't have both shoulder and hand hurt, I got news. We go to the Super Bowl and we win. Some things,
I don't know.
But you know what? This is what I say, though. This is like Jimmy's going to get hurt every year, though. Now, even though, as I say, I'm pretty sure they would have won a Super Bowl if not for that. I still know Jimmy G's going to get hurt before that. And I'm a huge Jimmy G fan. You know this. But the thing is, he's got to avoid the injury, and I don't know if he can do it. So,
Yeah, that's why they should have. That's why they should have traded him. Whatever pick they had, if not, they should have released him because you don't want to start a quarterback controversy because our locker room loves Jimmy.
Well,
we got to get the politics out of it.
Yeah, but you need camaraderie. If they love each other, they're going to support each other. They're probably going to be a better team. That's another story for another day, though. We got to go, though, fam. I'll be back tomorrow. All right, you and Allie, just have a great night. All right.
All right, Ronbo, have a good night.
All right, night, Allie. Night, guys. And let's go to Ellis.
Yo.
Ellis.
Well, I'm Bizzle.
We was looking for you after Mike got through hollering at me. And you went here. I thought you hustled kids out the room or something. Mike gets into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start warning people. Listen, you got children. Mike, before you get started, you got children. Listen, Mike has a tendency to get a little excited. So just to let you know. But go ahead, Ellis. Ellis, you know the situation. What are your thoughts on this?
Man, what are we talking about here? Does Jimmy still hear shit?
Yeah, Jimmy. Well, the thing is, after Deshaun gets his job, he determined the lives of millions of people. And quarterbacks are only the beginning. And then it gets into management around the league. Because can you imagine Atlanta Falcons? Listen, Matty, we love you. You're family. I'm family? Well, why'd you try to trade me? Matty, come on. You know what? The thing is, it's time that we probably considered what we might do for the future. But it's nothing against you. Listen, come on back and let's play some ball again this year and see what we can do. And Ryan says, look, you guys can go bleep yourself. I'm leaving. I don't care if you trade me or not. I'm leaving. And they traded him. And, of course, the $40 million. If anything, the Falcons got to be crying about that. So he's over now playing for another contender in the Colts, right? But that was supposed to be Jimmy's house. And the coach said, no, man, I don't know, man. Jimmy ain't ready to play now, that injury and stuff like that. We want somebody we can get in here and work with. Now, we went through this with Wentz. And the 2 draft picks everybody's talking about, I think Tony hit it right on the head.
He was wincing around.
Yeah, I think it was Winston around. I think it was. I think it was
Pun
Washington.
intended.
No, and it was well received.
No, go ahead.
But anyway, that's the thing. Jimmy's drama, and again, like I say, every year in the offseason, we go through Jimmy time. Jimmy time, you get convinced everything's going to be the same. Jimmy, offensive line, cornerback. That's all we talk about every offseason. And next year, can we please stop this conversation and be saying things like, well, maybe we could use another defense. No, defensive tackle, we did that too. Ellis, stop. Let me stop. Go ahead.
Man, this is quite the fiasco we got ourselves into here this year,
really
to say the least. You know, with John and them, you know, kind of bullshitting, and instead of trying to get rid of Jimmy and, well, we want a first-round pick, I bet you they had a second and third, second and a fourth before, but they wanted to try and squeeze more out of the situation, not considering the fact that there's a potential that Jimmy may need to get surgery, or that he just had 2 injuries that he closed out in the season with, you know, in the NFC Championship game, and that we're really not going to be able to get that much, you know, with how Carson went, and, you know, the Sam Darnold stuff, and, you know, these guys that really didn't perform, you know, to the level in which the organizations they went to would like, you know, it's slim pickings, and we got to try to take whatever we can get. Because that didn't happen, you know, all these other guys start moving around. I mean, Marcus Mariota got a starting job, you know, for Atlanta. Trubisky got a starting job. Carson got a starting job. You know, of course, Deshaun and, you know, everybody else, all the other, you know, Russ and the others, you know, got their spots. And so
Ellis,
it's very shocking.
I just want to ask you one question, just for a little bit of food, just to play devil's advocate. What if you and I both know John is not about to get no first-round pick for Jimmy, maybe not even a second-round pick. Matty Ice, he fetched a third-round pick. So what am I going to do with Jimmy hurt? I don't think the 49ers intended on trading Jimmy in the first place, and I really think something went sour somewhere in that camp they're not talking about. And I think Jimmy's coming back next year, and they're going to make it look like, well, we couldn't trade him. So we're going to bring the guys back to compete for a spot. We're going to rework Jimmy's contract and see what goes from there. Jimmy comes in, of course. George and the company that don't want him to leave in the first place, I think this is some kind of elaborate setup. We're going to see, though, because something doesn't look right. Why am I doing what I'm doing? If I'm, like you said, I'm not going to fool around with this. If Trey's my guy, he's my guy. I'm not going to fool around with Jimmy. Jimmy, you're done. Why are we playing these games?
Yeah. You know, it's crazy because it's like with all this damn money, so then what are they going to have? They're going to have to extend them another 2 years, 3 years, you know, to try and spread some of that money out so we can break up that contract and, you know, and be able to allow us at least to get 10 to 12, you know, maybe $1 million of that money on a cap, right? I mean, that's what would make the most sense. At least get 10 of it. What is he up for? 26?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, spread that shit out. 3 years. I mean, I'm not.
And
saying
that's a
that's what I
tradable
want.
contract. At least it's not so big.
Yeah, absolutely. And if he can come in strong and play at least up until, you know, the usual, the trade deadline, then trade his ass. Somebody's going to need a quarterback by the trade deadline.
But his agent has to go along with it, though. That's the problem.
Right, and they're going to have the contract fixed in the place in a way to where it works into their benefit, just like how they did with all this nonsense. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's a double-edged sword, and it's really, you know, it's really going to be a tough thing to kind of process. I'm anxious to see what the hell they're going to do, because as of right now, we ain't this shit. We signed a couple of guys, but like I said, we've been shopping at Burlington and Ross, you know, in the off season. You know what I'm saying? Do you love it? I love it. No, I don't love it. No, I don't love it. And I got it at Ross.
Alex Smith was exited. His exit was immediate in Kansas City, right? This is all. I'm looking at this. I'm saying, you know what? What is this? This is an act of some kind. I don't believe this. You don't play this game. You get immediately as the season ends, I make that deal. So I can start off fresh with no drama and get right into next year with what I'm going to do.
And how the hell do you explain yourself? What the hell is John and Kyle going to say? They're going to be looking like shit on the podium the first, 6 weeks. They're going to be, Kyle's going to be, and John's going to be fidgeting. He's going to be, twiddling his thumbs and,
but he'll still have that
shaking
big
his
grin on
watch.
his face.
Yeah, looking like a hammerhead shark. Damn it, John.
Because you know what? Kyle does not win unless Jimmy's on the field. And I think that's going to be a certain amount of paranoia in his mind. And if the 49ers lay an egg next year, there's going to be a lot of trouble on a lot of different levels. I think there's a fear factor running through Santa Clara.
Oh, God. So what? It's Trey. Trey's got to – I feel bad for Trey that he came into this, came to this organization with this kind of shit going on. I know I said I wanted Trey, and I saw him after the Super Bowl, and it would have been nice to have him, and I was looking forward to us getting him. And, a year passed, and then we get him, and then I'm excited, me and the other, people. And it just seems like now it's not even exciting. They're taking away from the excitement of having Trey, because of all of this.
Thinking, what's going on? I know.
What the hell are they doing? What are you guys doing? What's the plan here?
They got us confused like they always do. Every year we're confused about what's going on. Later on, there'll be that one segment where somebody interviews somebody and John or Kyle will come clean and say what was going on. But they'll never tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help them God. Guaranteed.
In the AFC's looking nothing short of incredible right about now with all the shit that they got going on over there.
We gotta play the
Bills,
worst division over there, Ellis. Next year.
The Bills are going to the Super Bowl, man. The Bills are definitely going to the Super Bowl. They was close. They was one game away from getting there. So hey, or 2 games away. You know what I mean?
Ellis,
So,
this is why
I don't know.
when people complain about us not winning the Super Bowl every time we go to it or in it, I say, Super Bowls are not easy. When you get there and you can win it, good. But if you don't, then just say it was a great season, you had your shot, and come back and get it again. But we condemn and go too deep with going after players because of a loss of Super Bowl. Like I said, Kowalski makes that catch, Jimmy's that cripple. These are all things that are going to happen during the course of the year or during the season. You got a bad break. You lost.
The worst fucking timing. Yeah, it was the worst time. It was the worst timing. It's amazing, though, that one play, if you get a couple of different plays that if this wouldn't happen, if that would have happened, and this time if he would have caught the ball or if the line could have blocked for a couple more seconds on this play, and then, it changes the entire narrative. Yeah. And that just makes it even a more gut-wrenching and heartbreaking because, those things should already be. And look at where we're at. Look at what we've been through this whole entire season, the games we played, the moments we've had, the clutch moments we've had, as a team and all this. To allow things like this, it's like it's almost as if there was no discipline. You know what I mean? It was we didn't know where we were at. We didn't know how important this moment was. We didn't seize it. You know what I mean? But shit happens, and I don't hate Jaquaski. I know he had a hard time dealing with that, and there's a lot of other people that do.
And he's not fully
but I honestly do because he's not Butterfingers. Jimmy Ward and some of the other guys are the ones that usually don't catch the ball. I think Kowalski's got better hands than Jimmy, if I'm being honest. I love Jimmy, though, as a player all around. That's why I say our secondary needs to start practicing with our wide receivers so they can catch the damn ball. Get familiarized with catching the ball like a receiver so when you're back there in the secondary, you're looking at the pass like, oh, shit, he threw that for me. Like you're almost in the offense, but you're not. You're guarding your man, but you're not scared of the ball. You know about hand-eye coordination and all those other things instead of zone coverages and
that's why Richard Sherman was so good. Exactly.
Yeah, man.
So, but it's always going to be like that. Because you look at Tom Brady. What did he do in the Super Bowl? That last Super Bowl he just won? Tom went out there and had a feel. He laid back and watched his defense destroy Mahomes. And then you look at Aaron Rodgers, 11 years. And he's been in the playoffs, most of them. Bad luck each and every year. We beat him in his house. They've been laying back, resting. The snow is coming down. It's conducive to anybody who lives in that madness, and he couldn't score 14 points. It's just the way it and his special teams killed him, though. I mean, what were the odds of us getting that kick, picking it up, and going to the end zone? The Super Bowl is one game. If people could survive, they should make that a 3-game series, because one game doesn't necessarily mean the best team won.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So, it's always going to be nasty. And every year somebody's getting mad. So that's what's
so we got to be prepared. Yeah, a lot of these teams are getting better, man. The Chargers are going to come back on fire. They're going to be looking great. You know what I mean? The Broncos are going to be looking really good. The Chiefs looking good. They just did well in the offseason. The Bills, the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? These guys are going to be coming ready to play, so we cannot bullshit. Yeah.
No. They make the Rams look like nice people. Raider fans will be. Oh, God.
And I'm ready for it. We got to be ready for it. We got to be ready to. We got
to win. That's all.
We got to play hard. We need to get somebody to support Nick Bosa, though. I heard you talking about it. We need to make sure that we lock in. So it's looking like we're going to probably try to get one of these really good, pass rushers in the draft. I'm hoping that we can do something like that and then try to get better in another position or two here, signing some guys onto the team, because we have to get better than where we at right now. We're already a really good team. I mean, Miami, look at the Dolphins. The Dolphins might win 19 games minimum next year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their offseason has been extraordinary. But anyway, But anyway, peace and love, Brother Ronbo.
Right,
appreciate you always for the platform, man. Yes, sir, man. Much love. Love you, fam. And make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. Wipe your feet, to all of the outsiders over there ready to blow. And what's the other guy over there? You know what I mean?
That's
shout
pretty
out,
good,
Dynamite, man.
You got it.
Oh yeah,
down
man.
perfectly.
My impersonation game is incredible, man. I'm a man of many talents.
Because I thought it was Mike. You got me. Oh my God.
Oh, hold on over there, Ronbo. Hey.
That's Ellis. That's God,
that's me.
Jesus. Ellis, we gotta go. You're scaring me now. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? I'll have to squad. Love y'all.
Hey, use a hater. Yeah, use a hater pressing the number like that while I'm talking to you, Tell your girl I say hello. Love you, Ronbo. Peace.
Night, fam. Appreciate you. God, Ellis that's wow. He's never displayed that. Oh, he did it a couple other times before, but it was brief. Damn. Anyway, fam, players, I'm going to go. Now, Frank's got me wanting a fish sandwich. Fam, please, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like. Appreciate the contribution tonight, guys. Really do. And look forward to hearing from you tomorrow. Have a great night.